Hey, what's up, Uncle Mike?
Hey, Nicky Nick. Yeah, what's going on?
Not too much. Just getting home. Can't hear you, Uncle Mike.
What's that? You having trouble hearing me? I don't know. Maybe it's glitching or something. All right, how y'all doing? Here we're back at Monitor Brains podcast number 22.
Let's see it. No, you're
Is
over
it
this
22?
time. 20,
I'm
21. 21.
Oh man, well at least I'm right there. Oh, and look, guys, everybody,
First time you were over. Usually you're behind.
look at that,
Nice shirt, Uncle
everybody.
Mike. I like it.
Yep.
I heard that guy's a real jerk off.
Yeah, but the shirt I like the design because of the way the letters sit. They make my nipples tingle. So very good. So okay,
Oh, that's your last shirt, Uncle Mike.
yeah. So here we are, Mike Stefani, Mike's Monitors.
Nicky Nick, Unlimited Exotics. You
Absolutely.
threw me off, Uncle Mike. The nipples are in my head. I can't think straight.
Yeah, my nipples have that effect on people.
I hope I never see them.
Well, it's pretty hot around here, but so at any rate, Nick, let's big news. I'm sure people know, and I'm not sure by the time this recording comes out, if it'll be out or not, but we are actually starting to expand the brand, the Brains brand. So at this point, we have Monitor Brains. That's me and Nick talking about monitor lizards and all other stupid stuff that we do talk about, which is it's just this whole thing ever started out because Nick owed me money, so I blackmailed his ass to he's got to do the podcast, and it maybe once he pays me my $2,
I can't afford it, Uncle Mike.
I'll let him out of my contract. If not, I do got Uncle Louie who might come and pay you a visit, but no big deal. So yeah, I just had to put that out there. That's whatever. That was totally spontaneous or whatever. But at any rate, so okay, we're expanding the Brains podcast family. So we don't know how far we're going to go with it. All we know is we've taken a next step to bring to the industry. We don't, like me and Nick talk every day. Me and Brad talk very often. I talk with John fairly often. We don't just bring on everybody, whether we communicate or we're friendly with or not, we want to bring the people the best. So me and Nick were talking and we were thinking about what we do and what we bring to the peoples, because you guys are what make this all happen. And first thing, me and Nick were talking about expanding the Brain brand. Okay, we're not gonna go crazy and have a niche in every field, but one thing that we're both passionate about is cage build and husbandry. And, you know, when this all started out, Brad, like, he had a Blue Tree monitor, I think maybe Alien, and then he bought Jupiter from me, and he built a really nice enclosure. Then he bought a pair of Mertens from me, and he built another enclosure, like with the water feature and everything for his Mertens, and it's top notch. So I kind of pride myself on being that type of a cage builder. However, I'm not eloquent. I'm not well spoken. I'm not calm like Brad is. So, through being friends with Brad and talking to him and seeing his bioactive, Brad's bioactive builds, and just how he's concise, he's meticulous with his words, with his, his recordings and stuff. And, he didn't need to come with us. He's doing fine on his own with his Brad's bioactive builds. But we had reached out to him. We said, hey, would you like a podcast segment on monitor brains, which is eventually, me and Nick are thinking, eventually it's going to turn into like maybe Reptile Brains Network or whatever. And holy shit, hold on a minute. Go ahead, Nick, keep talking.
Well, to continue what Uncle Mike was saying is we're going to expand it to almost like a network where there's different channels and different avenues, and get kind of specialists in each field, like an agomid breeder to come on, and all the different avenues of the reptile hobby, because me and Uncle Mike are just monitor guys for the most part. So
yeah, for the most part,
we want to get other people doing different podcasts and talking about different stuff that wouldn't do a podcast by themselves, but with our help can kind of do their own.
Yeah, and it's, you hear it all the time. Iron sharpens iron. So we're very, and this there's no bearing on anybody, but we're going to be pretty selective. I mean, we want, and we're going to always, when we reach out to somebody, like we have a couple other segments and a couple other people in mind. However, we need to talk with them, and most people are going to say, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. But then that's when the hard questions are going to be asked. We're not looking for you to do 3 podcasts and say, I've had enough. We want you to think about this.
That's the thing is, like, you come into this and you think it's just sitting down and talking, but there's a lot of background work that, I discovered, and I was overwhelmed when I first started this, because I was like, man, this is so much, and so much figuring out technology and editing and all that stuff. So we need someone and people that are dedicated and kind of have some technological experience, I guess. But it's fun. It's just an idea we've been throwing around, and Brad's the first one to already kind of want to do it and then just jump on board.
Yeah, he said he was ecstatic when we asked him, and he said, yeah, of course, glad to be part of the family, which we've always felt Brad being part of the family long before asking this. But at any rate, for all you brainiacs out there, man, that's great news, because we generally keep it about monitors on here from time to time. I breed emerald tree boas and some other things, and Nick, he's got Shinisaurus. So we want to keep this always focused on monitors. However, we're going to talk about our stuff a little bit here and there, but things that this reptile industry, this hobby, what have you, a lot of people keep a monitor as a pet. Some people keep, a pair, and some people might have, a monitor, a boa, a tree frog, they got like a hodgepodge collection. So it's very important that we push out naturalistic builds and bioactive builds, and there's a beautiful
different avenues of this hobby. It's not just breeding. That's just what we talk about because it's what we like and it's what drives us. But there's so many different avenues that we need people to capitalize on. That's why we have guests on, people that do other things than us. to kind of, it sparks our interest. I know it sparks your guys too, because if Uncle Mike and I just sat on here all the time, it'd kind of be like the same stuff. So we want to have different podcasts to throw different ideas. And I mean, at a selfish level, I kind of want to see it too. Like I want to hear Brad talk about these builds because I want to copy his builds.
Absolutely.
Implement it in my stuff. So,
well, you know, it's like this, Nick. So, and I'm not too proud to say any of this. I always have considered myself to be like one of the best naturalistic cage builders that actually works with husbandry. You know what I'm saying? It's not just fancy and beautiful, but your animals can actually pull off life functions in there, like nesting and breeding and hunting and scavenging. All of that.
The belly hanging, all that stuff. Like those are things when I'm putting trees in there, I'm thinking like, all right, that's a good like angle for her to be able to belly hang and get the stress off her lungs. Like that's stuff that you think about as you're doing it as an advanced keeper. You're not just throwing stuff in. And
absolutely,
I know Brad thinks about that on a crazier scale than I do. But
and so I guess what I was trying to say is like, so yeah, I never think I know it all. I never think I'm the best. I mean, yeah, I think I'm the best, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you got to think highly of yourself, right?
Definitely.
But I'm always open to new things and to learning, and you know. But one thing I got to say, I've been doing this a long time. If I know something doesn't work, I'm not going to resort back and think it's going to all of a sudden now because people are doing this or that it works. I've done it. Yeah. I know it doesn't work. That's why I push so hard about, you know, whole prey diets and to stay away from processed foods and like what else, Nick? Like fish cuts and things like that, you know? It's like I've done that all.
Certain substrates and all that stuff. It's like we've been there, done that. We've lost animals or had serious vet bills, and it's like, why do that to yourself for these animals again?
Right, and we're never picking on it.
Or hobby, you go backwards. You're always trying to improve, and especially for, I mean, this hobby is living animals. It's not like you could just continue to keep messing up and nothing happens. You got some serious life at hand.
Right, and so, you know, again, we talk about everything. You know, we talk bad about ball pythons, okay? But you got to understand, and we're literally
not even bad. We joke around about certain things, and I think it's both of our. I grew up that way. My whole family, like, there's no serious conversations in my house. So like, if you joke about everything, everything's open to be joked about. Is the best way to put it. And if someone were to make fun of us and say we take monitor keeping too seriously, I'd laugh about it because it's kind of true.
It is. Oh, you know, guilty as charged. Yeah. But so what I'm saying, what we're saying about the ball pythons, hey, bro, listen, I think I was in junior high school. I was keeping ball pythons. And back then, nobody was breeding ball pythons. Mm-hmm. So that's a whole new thing. However, when you're I don't want to sound arrogant, but when you're an advanced level keeper of monitor lizards, just putting something in a drawer and closing it with no lights, no stimuli, nothing but once a week you put a mouse in there or put a male in there. That's why I crack on that. I just, you know, I don't like just opening drawers. I like looking at my cages. I like opening them up and feeling the humidity hit me in the face and smelling, like when I hose them down with fresh leaves in there, smelling that earth, that natural, like, so that's why we say about ball pythons, and nothing against ball pythons. And as a matter of fact, if I were ever to keep ball pythons, I would not keep them in a drawer rack.
No.
And
well, I think that's what's cool about the monitor.
Guys, don't get mad at me. I just wouldn't do that.
Yeah. And I think that's what's cool.
I just don't get enjoyment out of it. Can you do it? Absolutely. Look, they do it all the time.
Yeah, you could. It's just, it's hard. You can't really do it with monitors, though. That's the
thing. I mean, we do. We know a guy. I know a guy who tried to keep monitors in basically a drawer system, and it didn't go too good for that guy.
I
But
can't
you know,
imagine
that's
going on.
yeah, no, and yeah. So I don't want to get into that because there's no rebuttal to that one. That man has passed on, and that's the end of it. And
Well,
that
what's
idea,
cool about the monitors, Uncle Mike, is I think the community itself is kind of taking a good turn of a heel and like going more towards these natural enclosures. Like Malik, I was talking to you about him this morning with the termite mound and the tall grass, and it's a wood enclosure, but he really took the time to like put emphasis on things that they would have in the wild, and I love that stuff because then it's like termite mound's really cool, and I'm sure he has some kind of way to open that termite mound if they lay eggs in there. But even just aesthetics, I mean, it's cool. I love that stuff.
Yeah, and like so, another one of our guys, Tony Boatman, T Style.
Yeah,
he posted a thing on Instagram today about, you know, he built a big foam structure, and I don't know what he's painting it with, but
yeah, I saw that.
Again, I'm not. Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing. If somebody would ever call me and say, "Hey, Unc, what do you put over your foam?" I'm going to tell you. But if you don't call me and ask me that, I'm not going to discourage you. You're a friend. I love what you're doing. I love that it's a step up. You're stepping up that ladder in the monitor world. So I appreciate that. However, like the one T Style,
when I did that metal, when I sprayed all the cement all over it, after I thought it would stick. I mean, metal, you normally use metal with concrete, stuff like that. But after a while, it was just sliding off, and you're like, you should have done screen first. But you live and you learn. Like if I ever did that again, I would use the screen. But
well, you know, Nick, I say this all the time. I think because when I was coming up in this, there was only one guy that had any kind of information. He was a hoarder. He wasn't sharing it, and he was very much a. So once, you know, not everybody, but there's a lot of people think he's a. Okay, so once we figured out that he's a you can't go to him for information. He's not going to tell you anyways. Blah blah blah. We start learning on our own, and mistakes are the best teachers. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm glad I didn't have somebody holding my hand. I'm glad I had to do things on my own and learn and pick things up. You know what I mean? Experience is the best teacher.
I don't want to make them wait anymore, Uncle Mike, because I mean, it's been 18 minutes, so I don't want to make them wait anymore. Okay. Our guest doesn't need any introduction. He's the man, the myth, the legend. He's the owner of Sim Container. He's a sponsor of this podcast. And we got John Adragna on, so let's get him in here.
Thanks, Nick. So what we're talking about here is USARK. They fight for our rights to keep these animals that we love and we nurture. These legislatures come and hide these insane laws in bills that have nothing to do with animals. So everybody, if you can, go to USARK and join at any tier level you can afford. If you're at a show where USARK is there, you could donate your time. You could donate an animal or a product. But this is for real. We really need numbers to help fight this stuff. Phil Goss, Vanessa, and Jeremy, they got their hands full, and they do a great job. So if everybody out there, please go join USARK today. Thank you.
So let's get him in here.
Wow.
Hey, John.
That was a very long wait.
What do you
Did you have a
do?
whole pizza over there while you were waiting?
Yes, the food got cold.
Sorry.
Thanks for having me on Monitor Brains. I feel
Of
very
course.
smart when I'm on this program because in real life I'm really dumb.
No, you're not. No,
No,
you're
not
not. But this is a lot better than last time when we were trying to have a conversation in the show and we couldn't get
my
you,
God.
couldn't hear half the stuff, so we wanted to get you
I
on
know.
again.
I think the idea was funny to
There we
have
go.
have a show on a show at a show. But
Yeah.
it didn't work.
Definitely.
No.
So we'll do it this
What's
way.
going
I'm in
on?
my
Is it
backyard.
only happening to me, Nick?
What? What's happening to you? Now you're
Nice.
glitching. You're not at a show. You're not allowed to glitch.
Janoots.
Can you hear?
Hey,
I hear
Janoots,
you.
are you on a
Yeah.
phone?
Yeah.
Can you turn your phone the other way? You know what I mean?
Yeah. 1 second.
Yeah, because then we'll be able to see more of you. There you go.
All right, hold on.
You wanted to see both biceps. You were out of the camera frame.
Yeah.
I'm here.
You're here.
I'm sideways.
You're sideways.
There we go.
Uncle
All
Mike's
right,
really delayed. His
What?
Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi is messing with you. I know your games. I'm not falling for it this time.
So, but listen, so we got Janoots here, man. I've known Janoots forever. He's a great guy. He's a sponsor of the show, so we're always glad to have him on. We did have you on live from one of the California shows, and
Pomona.
yeah, and dude, you're helping people, you're working people. People want to get a picture with you. You know, good looking guy. We were glad to have you, but we wanted to have you back.
It was bad.
We didn't want to share you with your fans. We want you all by ourselves now, so we got you.
Yeah.
Here I am.
I actually had a lot of people that wanted you to get back on and talk localities.
And you know,
I know.
before this is over, I got to see the boss. The boss got to come out.
You got to see what?
This is a messed up podcast. Hey, Nick,
Don't worry, Nick will edit it.
what the hell is going on?
It's Uncle Mike. I hate to say it, but it's just you. Me and John are in real time.
Me?
You're delayed. You're very delayed.
All right, I'll go out and come back, huh?
Yeah. I'll boot you.
Is it better right now?
It
Yes.
is.
I'm on my phone, so
Definitely better.
all right, Ashbet. Hold on, I gotta figure something. I gotta
I'm
figure
going
something.
I'm
Hold
going
on.
with this one.
Yeah. Hold on a minute.
Nick,
What's
you're
the-
honorary Italian on this show.
Yeah. I've always wanted to be Italian. I went to
Well,
school.
there you go.
I was the only Irish guy in the whole school. So
Hey, what's the thing that makes your screen spin around like that?
you just turn it.
I just turn it. Let's see. Hold on. Didn't work.
You got it locked. Swipe down.
Swipe down. Okay, and then there's usually like a spinny thing, right?
You got a different phone than me, but it's the lock. Mine's a lock. Like
Oh, it's a lock. Yeah, I got it. All right. Now we'll see. There we go. All right, so
I'm leaving all that in, by the way.
dude, let me tell you something. I think the situation is, dude, we're having a hurricane or something out there. I don't know what's going on.
Yep.
But
Looks
yeah,
like it's coming this way.
yeah. So I'm go ahead, continue, guys. I'm just gonna head upstairs.
Okay. We were just talking about localities and how to find stuff and how it's not really easy to get information, but we wanted to talk more about it and help people.
Yeah. You know, you can do a Google search and, type in a locality and you want to look for water monitors. You can search for water monitors in different languages and see what comes up. But Google Images is not accurate.
Yeah.
They
No.
throw everything on
They
there.
throw
And it's like,
everything on there.
you think you found something, but you really didn't.
Yeah. If
Right.
you type in Marmoratus, you're looking at Javan, you're looking at all kinds of crazy stuff that's not Marmoratus.
Everything. They throw everything on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
To really get pinpoint accuracy, I mean, iNaturalist is amazing.
Mhm.
But sometimes you're just lucky. Dude, I got lucky on Instagram.
Really?
of all
Yeah,
places.
in tags and stuff, right?
In tags, I tagged the island, and then I just scroll through like people's travel pictures, and things come up. That's
Yeah.
what I found. Croc monitor pictures. I found water monitors in the wild that from an island I've never seen them there before. It was great.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good rabbit hole to go down. I've done that before with certain stuff.
Oh, you could be on there till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell am I doing?
I did that when I was trying to find Nucallis. Like I was trying to find people in the States that tagged Nucallis and just going down the rabbit hole of that, but I got nowhere.
Oh, forget it.
Yeah.
I did sell
Forget
some
about
at the
it.
Hamburg show, but I don't know where that guy is.
Yeah. I think I don't know if it was there or Tinley the first time you put one in my hand. It might have been Hamburg, but they were like still this big.
That was Hamburg.
Was it?
Yeah.
That was nuts.
I was like, hey, you gotta see this, and I put it in your hand. I remember that.
Yeah. I was just staring at it like, holy shit, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of us gets it again. Gets it going.
Hopefully.
They're around. I mean, I let go 3 males that I had here, but I wasn't doing anything with them. I'm like, let somebody else enjoy them. Why am I hoarding 3 males? So I let them all go.
Yeah.
So, cuz, let me ask you a question. Since we're talking about new chalice and shit like that. So, earlier we had discussed and said, so it was like 5 years ago that you captive bred them, correct?
Well, Alex did, yeah.
Okay. What happened to those babies that were hatched out? Like, did you keep track of them?
Well, some of them I did, and some I didn't. Some of them, to be honest, a lot of them are dead.
Well, you know what? I know that's kind of a dumb question for me to ask you that because literally I put out so many Mertens, not so much the coming eye for some reason, but so many Mertens, so many sulfurs, and how many adult Mertens and sulfurs do you see? You know what I'm saying?
You don't.
You don't, and it's sad. That's kind of a moral dilemma I get from time to time breeding these animals. It's like, I keep breeding them, I keep putting them out there, and yet, there's only 3 or 4 that are still out there. What happened to the other 200?
That's why I got out of the Black Dragons. I stopped actually breeding them, but I had pairs here just waiting. I could have paired them at any time, but I sold out. I have 1 female and shadow.
If they don't die from bad husbandry, they die from being escapees, or they die in a fire. It's sad. Or they drowned each other.
Yep.
It's always like something stupid.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't think you think you have this amazing cage and has a huge pond, and one held the other one down and drowned it. Like it's you gotta be careful.
That's true. Like I see a lot of people Janoots with water monitors, right? And they'll take those big, Rubbermaid or even horse troughs and fill them to the top with water. And that's great. However, one thing you should know about monitors, water monitors, there's a time when they will actually tuck their arms and their legs to their side and free swim like that. But for the most part, they want 6-8 inches of water where they could actually just not have to swim, not have to be in a weird position, but just lay with their nose up out of the water and really relax. So some of them deep water features, they're more bullshit than they're worth,
Mm-hmm. Because they wear themselves out. I mean, it's just like a person trying to swim. You swim for so long, you get tired, you can't swim anymore, you're going to drown. I had an actual instance when I first started keeping, it was actually an albino water monitor, and it got underneath the water tub, the big water trough, and actually couldn't get back out and got squashed. So it's just crazy stuff like that. Like you said, John, it's just, you can't predict everything.
The first coming eyes I imported were sold to a guy in Florida, and he paired them up, and he goes, John, they're mating in the water. I'm like, oh, that's great. And he just mated with her in the water until she was dead.
Yep. He held her under, right?
He just held it down. That was it.
That's crazy.
And he was devastated. So it's always a stupid thing that could take these things out, and you got to be really careful.
Yep.
You could lose everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing is there's reasons. I feel bad sometimes. I want to give them these giant water features, and some of them do. but I have mostly the cement tubs because I know that they can get out. The female can always get her head up somehow. It's really hard for the male to like completely suffocate the female.
I have the same.
Yeah, I gotta say, so along those lines, like, when I had Kingpin and Bumblebee, they fit in a large mortar tub, no problem. However, their tails were curled and their tails were curled while they were in the water. They had no problem with it. But I don't know, man. About 5 years ago, my son Dominic got this harebrained idea. Hey, Dad, let's go ice fishing. So we went ice fishing, right? And we caught some fish, man. But we were exposed, man. And I'm like, hey, that was pretty cool, Dom. Let's go on Amazon. I ordered one of them shanties and the ice driller and the little sled that you push it out on the ice. And we got in our nice little tent. We got our heater going. And listen, man, we just hear this. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I'm like, holy f***. Me and Dominic look at each other and I'm like, Dominic, don't move. I said, slowly unzipper the tent and jump out and run to the shore. So now there's other guys on the lake, right? They see these two fat Italian guys jumping out of a tent, running for their lives. They're like, relax, it's just the ice growing. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. So that's what they said. That it makes that noise when it's like compacting to each other. So what? Now I got all this ice fishing equipment, and I'm not going ice fishing ever again. But the sled, it reminds me of a mortar tub, but it's literally 5 feet long. So I plan on throwing that in one of the cages because it's big,
We talked about this once too, Uncle Mike. The actual horse troughs that are suspended that have the frame that are kind of the same thing. I've seen those at Tractor Supply and stuff, and I've thought about that a few times. But I'm just worried about the metal corners of it. I might actually remove the frame and just leave the tub.
Well, I've been looking at them, Nick, and I've been thinking maybe I'm going to put my Borneos in there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
like a river system,
right? Because it's really long and not real deep. But
that'd be really cool.
I'm trying to downgrade stuff here, and I'm looking at new cages. I'm like, I'm crazy. So, but again, man, I'm sorry to get off track here, but that's kind of how we get the best information, right? When we just start talking like we're sitting around a Tinley,
Yeah.
So
I always wanted to do that with the earless, to do that endless river system. That's just like a small section of a river. I want to do it like a table height, like I was telling you, like the jewelry stores, how they have that glass thing. Like to do it in that would be really cool.
Right.
But I don't know. They're set up. They breed where they are, so I'm just leaving them alone.
Yeah, leave well enough alone, right?
Exactly.
So
if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, John, I wanted to say, dude, commendable work you're doing with the different Ackies, man. I gotta say, because I don't know. I think it was you. You just mentioned about people were talking about hybrids and cross locales and things like that. It's no mystery. Everyone knows I'm not a big fan. You had said something that kind of made sense without a doubt. However, it's like you said, if somebody would come up with a color anomaly of like a savanna monitor, that would be very good for the species. But with that being said, like line breeding, amongst Varanids, like the only one I know that's really doing anything like improving lines and working a line is you with your Ackies, and man, it's paying off. You got some beautiful stuff.
Thank you. But there's other guys doing stuff too, like Coming Eye, the white line, and Coming Eye, the dark line.
Right.
That's all important too. Like I'm just trying to make Ackies prettier, so I hold back and breed back and mix it up a little bit, and hold back what I need.
I always said yours were the best.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I like them too.
But to be fair, let's be fair. Doing it with Ackies, number one, they're smaller. Okay, doing it with Coming Eye, I mean, it takes 6 to 8 months before you start seeing that ontogenic color change really setting in. And even then, up to a year, you might get another change in that animal. So to hold back a group of hatchling coming eyes, it's a big task,
That's
Hard.
the exact
You're
boat
right.
I'm in right now. I
Yeah.
picked the darkest for the dark line. I just picked the darkest baby, and that could end up being the lightest baby, but I'm being optimistic. I can't hold back more than one. I'm going to keep one from each line and just hope for the best. But somebody else might get the best. So that's the chance you take.
It's a little bit easier with the small stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But there's also problems with the small stuff. The problem is like Kingorum, Primordius, Gillini. They don't have a very long reproductive life. You got to
Yeah.
hold back a lot.
Yeah.
You need to hold back at least 3 years worth of breeders.
Again, that's what makes what we do in the Varanid world, like you're not going to do that like people do with colubrids and even boas. I mean, that's a big animal, but they're not active. You could put them in a vision type cage. They sit in a corner till they're ready to eat again. Monitors, they need the room. They need the mental stimuli to keep them. They're such intelligent creatures that you could put them in a small box, but man, it's not good for their mental well-being. And if their mental well-being ain't there, you're not going to have much success, continually. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, monitors are a little different than just about everything, really. I think I can't, I can't think of like maybe like those true chameleons with the shoot your tongue out thing. Maybe they require maybe a more husbandry and a more better cage. You know what I'm saying?
I think most of gommids too need a pretty decent setup, especially the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Like frilled stuff like that. You're not going to get away with a small PVC enclosure. If you do PVC, it's got to be pretty big. But that's the thing is like with the monitors, like if you grow them and you don't grow them properly, you're not going to do good with breeding either. Sometimes they might even be infertile. They're just whole insides are messed up. So literally you got to play it pretty perfect all the way down the line from baby to breeding. So that's why, but that's another reason why I like it. It's because you can't really cut corners with monitors. You kind of got to do it the right way.
Well, it's funny because me and Nick just had this conversation, and it's crazy. It's like, well, yeah, people are going to think, these guys say this shit all the time, right? But it's true. From my experience, anyways, with monitor lizards, like less is more. Like the more animals you have, the less you have time to pay attention to behaviors and seeing cycles and so when I say that less is more, I think you're more successful when you have a manageable collection, especially if you're like all of us here. I mean, our kids help a little bit, but it's basically we're a one-man show. So when your attention is divided by 6 or 8 different species, you miss out on a lot of stuff.
Yep.
It's true. A lot of those people don't breed monitors. They don't go to the next level because they have too many other distractions. They got their crested geckos, leopard geckos. They got their spiders. They have one monitor or 2 monitors, and they're just going to live a kind of mediocre life.
Definitely.
Right.
Most. Anyway.
I realize that too. It's just like, you're like, it's a crested gecko. How much time could it take? But it's just your attention on something else.
Yeah.
Like Uncle Mike, you kept saying it to me. You're like, Nick, I think you're a little stretched thin. And I was like, I don't think so, Uncle Mike. I think I'm good. And I just kind of kept like, no. And then it got to the point where I'm like, I'm not producing what I was, and I need to cut back. And I did.
I've seen it here with myself too. And it was as simple as this. When I had the sulfurs, the Mertens, everything going well, my first group of Mertens that I actually got from you, John, I got a pair from you, and I lost the female to her first reproductive cycle. Then I happened to get lucky and get 2 other adult females. I bred the shit out of them for a few years, and I thought, Mertens, Mertens is a strange lizard, man. They grow slow. They're slow to mature. Once they get going, they go like crazy. But so I had raised up 5 of my early on clutches, and I raised them for like 5 years, and that's when I got rid of my original 1.2, and out of the 5 I had, I picked out my new 1.2, my F1s, and literally my timing was way off, and I had a couple of years of not producing Mertens because of their slow growth, and I think it was like their maturity too. They were big enough to breed, they just weren't mentally there.
Yeah,
And then once they did kick in, they started going crazy. But then again, that's just part of, like we're talking about, less is more. The more shit you have, the less you see, and then you make mistakes like that, and you got a few years of inactivity or whatever.
Mhm.
And it's just part of like understanding these lizards.
and I'm not saying you, Uncle Mike, with that situation, but like the signs could be right in front of you and you're missing them. Like,
Yeah.
that's a couple things that I've had for years that have been doing nothing. And then I got rid of that stuff and I'm like, wait a minute, I just saw that head twitch like behind that log or whatever. So then you start implementing like, oh, it needs this, oh, it needs that. And with the Crocs, like just a couple things that I've changed since the last infertile clutch, like I feel really comfortable now. Like she laid a certain way and I was like, now I know what she wants. I'm just going to make it bigger. So it's certain little things like that you're missing if you're stretched too thin.
Yep.
Yep.
So, John, another question I have for you. And
The albino Sambala?
yeah, or no, that I don't know what it is. It was when it was young. It was kind of like a off-white gray, and it had like marbling in it.
Titanium or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh, the Karawang, the white one.
Yeah.
The West Javan white ones.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I have them.
Okay.
Yeah. How you doing with them?
Well, I have a boy and a girl, and I haven't paired them yet.
Okay.
I tried to pair her with a different male 2 years ago, and she almost died.
Oh yeah, I remember that
She
story.
was chewed to
I'm gonna have to cut that. They shut them down.
They shut them down. They got cuz. Oh, Janoots, are you there? You need bail money? Where you at?
I am dying in here, Uncle Mike. It is so hot.
Yeah.
I didn't turn the AC on again. It's got to be 80, 85 in here. It's insane.
Wow, that's crazy. Why don't you turn the air on, you cheap bastard?
No, because we're not in here. Like, we live over there, so we're not in here.
Oh, I
never
see.
turn it on unless I'm in here, and I totally forgot this morning because I left at 4 a.m, so I wasn't thinking.
Well, you got to do like CJ. Put the fan blowing up your skirt.
Yeah, I have it. I'm not even kidding. It's right there, but it's not enough.
That was
Hey,
Robert
John.
Balin called and knocked me offline.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was going to say, hey, cuz, man, give me a text if you need bail money.
World. We're only living in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been doing crazy stuff over there. I can't believe he got the Crocs. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing the Crocs. He's got Spencers.
He needs to get those Spencers going.
Albino waters out the yin yang. He's got his Yuwonawai.
I sold my yuan. I haven't even said anything about it yet, but it was just like I had to get real with myself and be like, how many big projects like that can I take on? Like, no one's ever bred them for a reason. I'm not going to put the time in. So I was like, you know what? They can go for another time.
I just want to keep what makes me happy, and I like things that are easygoing and not too hard to figure out in this old age of mine.
Oh, really?
I don't want to think too much anymore.
All right. Hey, Becky. Where you at?
Although
Say
I
hi.
would like, those hi.
That's my neighbor,
those
Becky.
Pastel Dorianis. Every time I see them, I'm like,
Oh my
shit.
God. You saw those ones today?
No.
Yes.
Those were insane.
Oh
Keep
my
going there.
god.
That was the nicest pastel I've ever seen.
Yeah, but
And dude,
guys, man.
they're not impossible now. Brian DeRocca broke the ice.
Right.
You
But
know?
guys, Janoots, I got to ask you. You
I can't
remember
hear Mike,
back?
though.
You remember back in the 90s, right?
Uncle Mike, John can't hear you.
You can't hear me. Why?
We're probably
Why
gonna-
can't?
This is painful. Can you
Hey,
hear now?
Janoots.
I hear you now.
Cool.
Okay. Here's we're talking about blue tails to pastels. Okay. I remember back in the mid to late 90s when those were like super rare. And, that's where that pastel came from. Dude, whatever happened to the real Dorianus of old that were black with the yellow flecking and a blue tail? Where are those, man?
I don't know. I don't know where they were collected, but we don't see them.
I was going to ask you if you knew what locale those were.
And they were gigantic.
And they were gigantic. Yeah, they were like miniature croc monitors for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
had a huge one. I remember it.
Yeah. They had that real bulbous snout. They're very croc monitor-esque. But another thing we were just I'm talking to you and you're old like me, but do you remember back in the day, bro, when Rudicolis were these 5-foot jet black animals, and now all you see are these little gray and blue ones or brown and yellow ones? Where are those big, beautiful jet black Rudicolis?
They were probably imported from Thailand and Malaysia Peninsula, Vietnam. I don't see them anymore.
It's a shame, because if I seen a pair of them, never worked with them, and I would like to work with them, but I don't want to work with what's available now.
Yeah, I worked with the small
I tried. I bought captive hatched babies, and they just failed instantly.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Like they had the best chance in life, and I kept them humid, I kept them warm, they were eating, and then they turned around and just, died on me. I was very disappointed.
Such a strange monitor.
I like them. I like them a lot.
I wanted to ask you, John, what are you working with these days?
Ackies, top ender Ackies.
Yep.
I got the spinulosis pair.
Nice.
The female is literally like, when people say pounding food, this thing is, I don't know where she's putting it, but she's eating every day, and she wants like 6 mice, or she wants all the bugs you could possibly throw at her. And she's like this round.
Wow.
And I have a camera on them, but I can't capture everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they might have made it. I don't know. So we got to just pay attention to their behavior.
Yeah, yeah.
But I absolutely adore them. I think they're wonderful. I hope I can figure them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metabolism is something like no other monitor that I've had. Like, you could slam them with food, like you said, they're like this. Next day, they're paper thin again. It's like,
it's very bizarre. Yeah. They take 2 they're like,
Yeah.
It's like, what happened? They got wrinkles on wrinkles.
Yeah.
Still trying to crack the code with them. No idea.
Hard,
no rhyme or reason.
Well, the one thing I got to say, and I know that Cole Chapman, I think that's his name, right?
Yeah.
He's very into them. I'm just glad, and I'm not disrespecting nobody, but for such a species to be in John's hands and Nick's hands, I think that there you go. Those are probably the best chances that we have with getting them captive born here in the U.S. So
I hope so.
3 of us, I think someone's going to hit it. I mean, Cole gave me a lot of information from going there that I was keeping them low, but I didn't know how low. And he said it doesn't go over like 95 there. So my temps were kind of close. I'm a little hot, but
I'm a little hot right now too. But they seem to handle it.
They definitely utilize it.
Back in the day when Quetzal went over there 20 years ago, I asked him what it was like. He said they like it hot and they like it humid. And that's how I kept mine, hot and humid.
Yeah. Mine, it's super humid at my place. And I mean, it's 82 ambient right now. So it's like, I can't really fluctuate too much. So I just have one light on them. I have one mega ray, and they utilize it. It's probably like 100, 110.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
But it's floor to ceiling. So like if they get too hot, they just go down. But they spend most of their time up high.
Well, that's why, one staple has always been in the monitor world is, you got to give them choices. Whether, especially while you're trying to figure, once you get them figured out and you're coasting with them, you can kind of hone everything in. But in the meantime, when you got animals like, even Togianus or spinulosis, it's like you got to give them that choice, that gradient. You got to give them hot. You got to give them a place to go cool off. And then after, a year or two, you kind of see they're migrating more to the cool side or to the hot side or they don't like that basking spot that's 10 degrees hotter than the next one. So, this is all part of, figuring out these animals. And that's why I think a lot of people give up, because, it's not plug and play. You got to figure your animals out for your conditions in your area, in your house. And, a lot of people give up because it's not like, again, I'm going to get in trouble, but it's not like a ball python, it's not a straight recipe. Everybody's recipe will be different from region to region around the U.S. Somebody in California, they ain't going to keep their animals like I do, and I couldn't keep my animals like they do. So, you got to figure this stuff out.
Variability within the monitors themselves. Like each species is so different. Like if I tried to breed spinnies like I do water monitors, it just never would happen.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just learning each individual species, which is fun to me. I think that's the best part.
Us humans as a species, we think we're the dominant force in the universe, and we know it all, and we could do it. Dude, by us breeding monitor lizards in captivity, it says more about these animals' adaptation than it does us as skilled keepers. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the we put these animals through, and they thrive despite us. Don't pat yourself on the back too much. The animals are doing most of the work. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
All you're doing is giving them what they need. And if they're not breeding, you're not giving them what they need. It's not dependent on them.
Well, you know what's funny too? Like, so that brings me to this story. You were just talking about Quetzal going over there. So all the years that I've been keeping Similis, right? And John, it's been a long time. And over those years, I've not seen courtship. I've never seen a lock. I've never seen nothing. However, the last group that I've been working with, like I got a couple of babies from you, John, and I got a bunch of small ones, right? Raised them up. And then I started, I'm seeing Applin. Yeah, we got another clutch. Yeah, we got another clutch. I'm like, dude, this. So I called up Applin. I'm like, dude, what am I doing wrong? I told him everything that I was doing, and all of what I was doing with my Similis was based on an episode of the Croc Hunter, Steve Irwin, right? He was up in the Northern Territory in the wet season. So he's trouncing around in like knee-deep water. He sees something fly up a tree, and he climbs up there. He takes a little stick and he pokes it out, and it was a Similis. And I'm like, holy shit, okay. So I'm going to keep them hot and humid. And I was talking to Applin. He goes, oh, mate, if yours were Australian, you'd probably be doing them just fine. He goes, but I can tell you right now, yours are from New Guinea, and they need a cooling down period. And when I adjusted my husbandry, I started seeing locks and belly hangs, and I've never gotten any eggs yet. But when I started getting some serious locks, my male, he developed this skin infection, and I bring it to 2 different vets. I tried 2 different treatments. Nothing worked. And finally, he was just wasting away. So, I had to put him down. So I put him down. Now I have a young male that I'm, raising with a female. And again, now I think that I got my husbandry honed in on him. But it's so crazy. Just those little details that, 30 years of working with him, most people would have gave up. And it wasn't that like I'm going to breed these, I'm persistent. No, it wasn't like that. I just love them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So very manageable size species, and then that Cody Allen, he popped them off. So cool.
Yeah.
I hope they hatch.
Yeah.
They're going to look good in a little sim container.
Yeah, exactly. That clutch looked really nice too. It don't look like there'd be any problems.
I gave him my Flavies, which I had. I just had frustrations with them.
Yeah.
And he got a nice juicy clutch out of that female, so I'm very happy for him.
Yeah.
Nice. Now those that you're, my position on Flavies in the United States, but are those ones that he got from you? do they have the 1/3 yellow tip tail? And so, okay.
Yeah.
So,
The female's tail tip is like this long, yellow, unbanded, and the male's was as well, but he lost a big length of his tail. So
yeah.
you
I
don't
would
see
love
that, but the
nothing more
female
than
had
it.
it.
I would
I
love
like-
nothing more than to see flabbies. That's a great species, man, for sure. You
Yeah.
know,
And she's a tiny girl. She's maybe 32 inches.
Wow.
beautiful.
Very small.
Yeah.
So she's probably pretty pure for the most part.
She's got, I think she laid like 9 eggs for him.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
she's good. I'm happy
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. No, he's
Yeah,
doing
me too.
great work over there for sure.
The kids are doing good these years, you know, this time of our lives, watching these young guys that paid attention.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
it is good.
I annoyed the shit out of you, John, when I was younger. Just pestering you every time I saw you at Hamburg. What's this? How do you do this?
Nick, I still had the picture of when I met you holding that big Nile
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
10 years ago, maybe more.
I had the big goatee thing going on.
You did.
Let me ask you a question. The Nile was big when you were holding it, John, and it just looked like medium when Nick was holding it, right?
Exactly.
Well, I was being very irresponsible, and I had it around my neck at a show. This
Yeah.
giant Nile.
But I'm just standing there like this.
Yeah. I was like, why is everybody so amazed? He's just tame. But I was just crazy.
It was also freezing in there, so
Yeah, that helps.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that helps.
He wasn't bad. He didn't have a bad demeanor, but it was not the brightest move of mine to be doing that. But I was young and dumb. You all got to learn something.
There's one more part of that, young, dumb, and
yes.
we'll pass on that. It's a family show.
That's messed
But-
up.
So,
No, this is the state law. It changed in 2005.
One
No
day.
Salvatore, no Niles, no croc monitors, no Komodos, and no black throats and white throats.
That was in
wow.
2005.
None. State banned.
And
State banned.
And what is the reasoning?
I don't know. All this shit changed when somebody was caught with a tiger and an alligator in an apartment in Harlem, Manhattan.
Yeah.
And probably some, animal rights person,
Yeah.
had some political pull.
That long ago. I've been.
You know what's funny? You say that about that tiger in the apartment. I actually seen a show on Discovery a long time ago where, they suspected the guy was up to something in his apartment. And like the police went to the house or the apartment and they knock on the door and like nobody answered. And you know how cops are. He checked the doorknob. So he opened it slightly and he was face to face with that tiger. Pulled that door closed and like, yeah, come on, guys, what are you doing? You got to do better than that. What do you got a tiger in your apartment for? Come on.
See the video in New York with the guy? I think it's a firefighter going up the thing and it's clawing at the window. It's like trying to break the window to get.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's
Oh
a
my
video.
God.
It's freaking
It
out
doesn't-
in the apartment trying to break the window.
These people that do things like this, it doesn't help us.
No.
And before the laws changed, it was crazy here. I worked at a pet shop in Staten Island there was an eagle in the window. It was an
Wow.
African Batalore eagle in
That's
the window. And then they had monkeys. They had capuchins and spider monkeys. This is
I had them here. I grew up with the monkeys in my house.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Potbelly pigs. And then a whole gigantic reptile section with huge Burmese. We had all of that at that shop back then.
And you worked
So-
with Wetzel, right? You guys worked together?
No. He lived in Queens and he worked at New York Reptilia.
Gotcha.
And
I thought you guys
I
worked
was,
at the same place.
and I thought I knew a lot about reptiles. Then I met him and I was like, wow, he's like 16 and he knows everything.
Hey, wait a minute, John. So you're like 52, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a good guess.
Well, because I know. I mean, I've known him a long time, and I know he's 10 years younger than me. So
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Quetzal is younger than you?
No, older, a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because he was here not too long ago. And, we went out to dinner, we were talking, looking at the animals and whatnot. But when you said that just now, I'm like, oh, John's younger than me. And you made it sound like he was younger than you.
No, but he was young.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And he knew a lot. Like he had a lot of experience. And I hit it off the bat right away with him. I was like, this guy knows his monitors, but he
Yep.
knows everything. I'm like,
That's
and
crazy.
dude, he had an apartment, and I'd go to his apartment, and it was a little place in New York, in Queens, and all of his cages were on the ceiling. Like he would like pull the chains, and they would
Really?
come down from the ceiling, and then like, he would like take out and he had a huge similis, and it latched onto his finger, and I was like, oh my god, there's like blood going down his hand, and I was like, I never saw a similis before. I was like,
Yeah.
man, this guy's fucking crazy. And then
That's
puts it back, and then hoists it back to the ceiling, and then he drops another one right
that's
next to
crazy.
me, and he takes out something else, and I was like, holy shit, I never saw any of this stuff.
Why was he doing that? For humidity? That's why he was.
No, I think it's
he had no space.
space. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Space
That makes sense.
constraints in New York,
Hey, that's another thing that's nice about Quetzal too. You, me, Quetzal, we could have cages on the ceiling and still have plenty of headroom, right?
Well, he's taller. He's taller.
He's a little taller. Yeah, he's
a
not
little
much
taller.
taller, but he's a little taller.
He's
Yeah,
taller. He's taller.
You guys could put him on the ceiling. I'll still hit my head.
exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's
Oh
fun.
man.
Crazy. What a small world.
So
How long was he in New York with you, John? Before he moved?
Oh, he lived here until he was maybe 20, and
Okay.
then he drove everything to Costa Rica,
Wow,
and he bought land down there and started the zoo.
that's nuts.
He
Yeah,
had the
that's
first.
the beginning.
He had the first indicus from Ingela that they call the Dwyer eye.
Yeah.
That's named after him, but it's not recognized. I think it should
not
be, but
official, right?
he had the first one, and he got it from Joe Robson, and I saw it at Mark Bayless's house of all people.
Oh, wait a
Mark-
minute, John. I was going to say that. Is that monitor that Bayless had for all those years?
Yeah, the green thing.
The green thing. Yep.
Yeah,
I've never seen
That's-
one.
it's a really bizarre little mangrove monitor with a pink tongue and
Yep.
different kind of pattern. They don't get big. They're like 30
Yeah.
inches, maybe
Yeah.
20, 26. They're very, very small. Want to say hi? No? My wife is next to me, but she doesn't want to say hi.
Why does everybody's wife do that?
She's saying she has a bad hair day. I'm like, all right, you look fine.
Come on, it can't be worse than mine.
I have one of those every day.
Just fell asleep with the cat in his bed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She fell asleep with the cat.
It's nice.
It's wonderful.
Nice. I was thinking about doing. Is your wife's name is Shannon, right?
Yeah.
I tell her I was thinking about training a cat to sleep on the top of my head so I don't have that bald spot.
I
Well,
want to
when
do
you
it.
train one for me too.
I want to do a video with her because she knows everything. Because she's got to listen to me for the last 23 years.
Absolutely.
She knows everything. She knows when there's a new animal and I didn't tell her. She knows all about it.
That's funny.
She knows how to take care of everything. She knows how to feed and dig up eggs. Like I'm in China and I could look on the camera and I'll tell her, when you come home from work, you got to dig up a clutch of eggs in that cage. And then I'll see her on camera and I can hear her and her grumbling and cursing at me.
Cursing you out.
Yeah,
And she
yeah.
has like dishwashing gloves on and she's digging for the eggs.
That's
And
awesome.
she's wiping sweat from her forehead because it's so hot in the room, right?
Yeah. And she's cursing me out the whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for this.
Hey, cuz,
It
I got a
sounds
little
very familiar.
I got a little advice for you, cuz. I just seen this on Facebook.
What?
A guy had bought like a new shotgun, right? And his wife was sitting on the couch. So he walks in with the new shotgun low in his hand by his hip, and he's got a flashlight in his hand and he's shining it on the roof and he's looking up. And his wife is looking to see what he's looking at, and he walked past her with the shotgun and she didn't know.
That's a good one. That's a
You
good
gotta do that with some lizards.
I can't
She'll
do that.
she'll
Nicole's out.
find them.
Exactly.
It doesn't take long. She'll just be like, "Where the hell did this come from?"
Right. Well, that's something about Italian women. They do some digging. They could dig a hole and they could dig into your business too,
That's pretty funny.
Oh, she'll bury me head down, feet sticking up out of the ground.
Yeah, and look at the bright side. It won't be a long job.
I was
And
gonna-
like you, Mike, she's taller than me too.
Oh, is she taller than you?
Yeah, she's like
I don't I don't think I'm taller than you, John. I think we're about the same, right?
Yeah, we're the same.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I'm
my wife's
shrinking.
like, my wife has like maybe an inch and a half on me.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
could look straight and not see either one of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
I
as
have
a matter of fact,
I have
when
a
are you
picture
gonna?
of me, Mike, Steve Saindon, and Guy Montecalvo and Tim
Say that.
Richardson at a Tinley show, and it's like, 5 of the littlest people you could possibly find at an animal show.
There's a picture of us and you're standing on a chair and we're eye to eye too.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, but like the first time I met Nick, you know, he was like I don't know, man, like a starstruck kid. I could see him looking at me from across the parking lot. So I broke the ice, he didn't seem like he was going to break the ice. So I'm like, hey, you're Nick Lillis, right? And he's like, oh, hey, Mike, and like, I wanted to go shake his hand, but I seen how tall he was. So I had to wait on the curb so I could actually look him in the eye when I shook his
You told
hand.
me to get off the curb.
Yeah.
Uncle Mike, I know you've been hiding this for the whole podcast, but the answer is no. I can't.
You can't?
You got behind you. It says, "Will you marry me?"
Oh, yeah. I can't believe it. Man, I got an image to uphold. I shouldn't be showing that.
Yeah. I know you're trying to make it a surprise, but I can't. I'm already taken. I'm sorry.
Wow, John, what do you got? A race going on over there?
Yeah, I live near a busy street.
Yeah.
I thought that was your wheelchair, Uncle Mike.
No. Yeah. Maybe one day.
I really did. I'm not even joking.
But so, John, I see you a few times a year at the shows and whatnot. When are you going to bring your wife to one of the shows?
Which one?
Tinley.
I,
Want to go?
that's rough. It's during work time usually.
There's one
Yeah.
next week,
March, April.
June. They have a June show now.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Somebody called me and they said, "Hey, Uncle Mike, I wanted to get your opinion on Tinley, on Summer Tinley." I'm like, nobody could tell you that. We haven't had one yet. So
Yeah.
I really, dude, rather than making a third one, I wish they would have just did away with it and got the 2. It's too much, man. It used to be like an event. Now it's just like, people save their money and they used to say, I'm going to October, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're like, I'll just go to March. Now they got 3 choices. So it kind of screws the vendors a little bit.
They did that to Hamburg too, where they started making it every month and they destroyed that shit. Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully the new one at the field house picks back up.
Yeah, I like that one. That was nice to go back to that field house. And I never thought I would say that, but
Yeah.
it's nostalgic and and I got a good spot over there. So I'm signed up for November. I'll be there.
Yep, us too. It's nice because they have so much more room in there now and you're not on top of each other. And I'm against the bleachers now, so it's awesome.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. No, I love that show.
It's just a hot show.
Yeah,
yes.
that's a hot show.
It's a real reptile show. They got everything.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, in my old age, I can't move too good. I don't know if I want to be in a room full of poisonous snakes on the floor.
I think about that every single time. I'm like, I'm way too close right now.
You won't get bit by anything. There's a bigger chance that you'll catch syphilis than anything.
That's true, man. That's true.
That is the truth. The crowd at that show is something else.
Oh my God.
The real backwoods come out for that one.
People come they come through with their camouflage on with blood all over them. I'm like, they just killed something.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually had an idea.
It's like an old time show when you go to that one. It's still the same since I've been going.
I had an idea for vending like the shows, right? So, you got, people have hand sanitizer on the tables, and I was thinking about putting like a jar of patchouli and saying, "Hey, free dab of patchouli for anyone who smells like a goat."
Well, everybody would be dabbing. You'd run out, Uncle Mike, at that one.
I'd buy another jar, no problem.
I watched a lady get attacked by a macaw in the parking lot last time. That was interesting.
All right. Excuse me, guys. Continue. Talk amongst yourselves. I gotta put my computer away since I guess it's too stormy out for it.
So John, you're
So-
still doing lace, right?
Yeah, I still have lace.
Yeah.
Still breeding lace. I got some eggs due to hatch in September.
Normals and bells, or just bells?
Just bells. I can't get anything out of my my normal pair. I think my male is just such a bully that he just scares the girl, and then she goes and hides, and she don't eat enough.
Yeah,
Then she
you're
comes out and eats a bunch, and then starts hanging. So I put him back with her, and then same thing. I'm like, So I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. And they're big, so I don't know where to put him. Like if I want to put him off to the side and try a new male,
Mhm.
I'm like, where am I putting him?
Yep.
He's already
Yeah.
6 feet long.
Yeah,
I don't.
Well, again, that brings us right back to the less is more stuff. The
Yeah.
bigger the lizard, the more room, and you need a cutout cage for these times, like you're talking about. So yeah, there's so many little nuances with this stuff, and again, I don't think, short of being an Indo and having a facility like Prestasi over there, you can't do that indoors in the States.
No.
It's too much.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Like I've been talking to Robert about my Sumbawa project, and I'm like, yeah, they're breeding in these 833s. I have 2 of them, so it's 16 by 3 by 3.
Wow.
And I'm like, I feel like it's not big enough. Even though they have full run of that, I was like, that's a very long and narrow space for them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm gonna breed those white ones, they're even bigger.
Mhm.
Where am I putting them? It's like
And those are Sumbawa too, John, the white ones? Or
No.
What are they?
well, my Sumbawa albino turned white as he got older.
Yeah.
He's as white as the West Javan whites,
Wow.
but the West Javan whites are way bigger.
Yeah.
No,
that probably
I thought maybe I could breed the albino Sumbawa with that female, with
Mhm.
the female West Javan white type.
Yeah.
And just cross them because the genes look similar.
Mhm.
And maybe I would get babies that are visual, like right out of the egg. That would be fun,
That would be crazy.
That'd be crazy.
Or they'd be double heads, right? Just normal double heads?
Well, they would be double heads, yeah, for whatever genes they are. They're
That'd be
both
wild.
in the family of a T positive,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Some people will tell me I'm wrong. The Sumbawa albino
What
is a
were-
T
They were
positive.
calling those platinums or something for a while.
Platinums, yeah. But the platinum, it's not really a T positive
Okay.
because a T positive is a tyrosinase positive animal, which is like a darker albino. It's a
Yeah.
caramel color. It's a yellow enhancing and browns. It's not
It's like a
completely.
bloody color more than a white.
This thing hatched purple and white.
Yeah. I remember
And
you
it-
showing me that one. Yeah.
And
that
it
was-
has a dark eye and a pink tongue, but it doesn't have a stitch of yellow on it anywhere. When you look at it, it looks like a snow hog nose. It's like that color when they were babies, like that grayish purple and white.
What is that
So
called? I know it, I'm just saying it's melanistic when they lack yellow. It's not melanistic. There's another name for it. I can't think.
Lacking yellow is it anatheristic or is it?
Yeah, anatheristic. That was it.
Yeah, anatheristic.
Yeah, I cannot do that for the life of me.
And then xanthic is excessive amounts of yellow.
Yep.
Which is what my first sulfur when I bought it at the shop.
Wait, isn't
Nice.
xanthic lacking yellow completely? Or
No, that's axanthic.
xanthic?
Yeah.
But xanthic, just X, starting with the letter X.
Yeah.
That's heavy on the yellow.
Gotcha.
So when I bought my first sulfur water monitor, it was the
Cody.
history of Cody.
Yeah.
It was on the tank. It said xanthic water monitor.
Really?
$600.
And
Wow.
who'd you get that from? Do you remember?
Yeah, I got it from a shop in Queens, New York, called Fishtown, USA,
Wow.
Yeah.
for $600. And my friends were like, "You're retarded." Like, yeah. They're like, "Why would you spend so much money on a stupid water monitor?" I was like, "I don't know. Look at it."
Yep. So what did you do? Did you ever breed that one?
No, I had it for 17 years, and by the time I knew how to breed water monitors, she was already set in her ways and such a friendly animal to me and whoever wanted to pick her up, but she hated male water monitors,
Yeah.
and I was
You know,
never able to pair her.
it's really crazy. Like, so when you hatch out, what the fuck? When you hatch out humming eye, you know, it takes some work, even right out of the egg. They're a little bitey. It takes a little work to, you know, get them to trust you. One thing I found out about the bivitatis, the sulfur bivitatis, man, them things came out of the eggs like puppy dogs. I mean, every one of them. I never had a mean one.
Yeah.
So and again, you know, I know about breeding them in captivity. I don't know nothing about them in the wild. I don't know, you know, I would love to know why sulfur bivitatis are so tractable like that, and Togianus are like Similis. They don't care. They don't want to be your friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're like
What
Mertens.
gives
Like,
them
I've
that?
never seen one open its mouth. Like they have no desire. They'll
Right.
turn their head before they do anything.
That was a slight disappointment when I hatched Coming Eye. Like I was so happy, and I reached in to just cuddle with all of them,
Yeah.
and man, they just lit me up.
Yep.
Dog.
Yep.
They lit me up. I was bleeding and everything. I was like, son of a bitch.
And it hurts like more than people think. And people are like, oh, it's not gonna hurt. It sucks.
No, they hurt. They lock on, and they have a lot of intent behind that bite.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you know
And
what
then
I found? Go on, John.
Those Simbawas I hatched, they're not bitey, but they were runny.
Okay.
So just getting them to like chill the hell out has been.
How many did you keep the whole clutch, John?
Yeah, I got 6 of them.
Wow.
They're getting big. They're 6 months old, and the males are already like 27 inches. They like
crazy.
Exploded. I'm like, this isn't going to be good because next year they'll be 4 feet long and still probably runny.
Yeah.
Less is more.
So
That's all I got to say.
I'm like, I need at least one boy and one girl to just be halfway decent with me, and I'll work with them more than the others. You know, like I'll give more attention to them. I'll feed everybody. Everybody's gonna be fine. I have clean water.
Oh, Gagoots.
Another phone call knocked me offline.
Nice.
I think we're setting a record for most in and outs.
Well, you know, I got to say, so we try to do a live with you at a show. Everybody's talking to you. We try to do a recorded episode where everybody's talking to you on the phone. It's like, come on, man, give us a little minute here with John.
Yeah. He's famous.
Just email me your questions, and I'll talk to a camera. And I'll email you back the video on WeTransfer, okay? And you could cut me up and piece me into the conversation. You can ask me anything you want, okay?
We'll talk to your secretary next time. You're too busy.
Yeah. So, John, you had made mention prior to the show when we were just conversating. You got a new product, brother.
Yes.
Let's hear
top
about
secret.
it. Oh, is it secret? Must be.
Very secret.
It must be secret. They cut him off. The feds got him again. Janoots.com.
So do you want to know what this product is?
Yes.
It's a cage protection for double fixture floodlights, so your monitors don't have to break your bulbs anymore.
Yeah.
Those expensive ass bulbs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
for real.
you know, John, going back to the old days, right? Like, you know, and I know we've had these conversations on kingsnake.com. It's like when I see people who have like, you know, fixtures with, you know, 6 feet of cord hanging in there, like the way I mount my lights, there's no way they could break them. They're fixed into the ceiling, you know?
Yeah.
But,
Same.
you know, yeah, when I see all that swinging and swaying, like right away, you know, going back to as we're learning this stuff, you know, we realized, okay, I'm not going to have an $8 light bulb swinging in the breeze because they break them. And, you know, I still see people doing that.
$80 light bulb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and not only that, I see some people build these enclosures with like the receptacle inside the cage. And I'm just like, oh my God, all they got to do is put a nail in there, right? So,
Oh yeah.
you know, and again, you know, right away we start thinking about your animal, right? You there's a electrocution problem that may happen. Not saying it will, but we're concerned with the animal. Now in our older age, I don't live in my mom's house anymore. Now it's my house. I don't want to burn my house down.
Yeah.
Like I just don't understand.
I have 2 smoke alarm systems in there and fire extinguisher everywhere because it freaks me out. That's my biggest fear among everything. Is like if they ever got a hold of something or blew a fuse and it just was too much power to something and it caught on fire. That's my biggest fear. So yeah, I got rid of all of those hanging things.
Well,
and Arcadia makes those bulb fixtures that you can screw up. Those are the ones I got.
So Jones is gone again. I wonder if he's been paying his internet bill.
I think having John on the podcast just cursed. We're never going to get a full episode with him. There he is.
Hey, John, how come? Do you got an Italian horn around your neck?
No.
Oh man, you need to get an Italian horn around your neck. I think you got the Malorks.
The Malorks.
Yeah, you keep cutting in and out.
The Malocchio.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
So
no.
wow, it did the sun go down, or you got a cloud over your house?
No,
Yeah,
it's
it did.
dark.
Hold on. I'm gonna ask Natalie something. Hey, Natalie, come plug me in over here, okay?
Oh, okay.
Get the blue extension cord and plug this in, please.
Uncle
All right.
Mike, you sent that weather our
Wait,
way.
what?
Plug
The
this,
thunder's
in,
cracking
plug
now.
this into the blue extension cord and plug the
Are you
blue
getting it,
extension cord into
Nick?
the outside
Yeah, it's
plug.
hurricane out there right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
1 second, guys.
It looks
Yeah, go ahead, John.
No, that's real bad. I thought it was gunshots when we were talking. It was really loud.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
I think we're good.
there he is.
Yeah.
The Italian stallion, Janusz.
Dude, it got so
Italian
dark out so
stallion.
quick.
It did, yeah.
Put him back. Thank you.
If you're going to get the weather we're getting soon, it's going to start pouring. It's like a hurricane out there right now.
Yes.
Hey, John, how far from the ocean is your house?
1 mile.
Oh wow, so you're close.
I'm close to the Atlantic. Yeah.
Nice.
And
I
I've
can
been
walk
there.
there.
Well, because you're on an island, right? I mean, you're on Staten Island.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. Like
500,000 people on this little island.
wow,
Yeah.
500,000 people on that island.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
15 by 7.
Did you ever see that? I don't know, some congressman, and it was probably, I don't know how long ago, 10, 15 years ago. This guy was serious, man. And they were talking about building a military base on Guam. So this guy's, like, you could YouTube this. You could see it on Google or whatever. This guy goes, well, I'm a little concerned if we build a United States military base on the island of Guam, what will keep it from capsizing? I'm like, dude, this is a joke. And then they were going on, and they're like, no, this is not a joke. This is really what this guy thought. I'm like, holy shit. So yeah, good thing with all them people on your island and it don't capsize. Crazy.
That would suck. What would we do? All the pizza be floating around in the Atlantic?
Well, look at the bright side. Look at the bright side, cuz all you'd have to do is find an extra large, and you and the family jump on it and get a pepperoni and paddle away. That's all. I think it's funny that I'm always busting your balls for being short, and I'm like the same size as you.
The same size as me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't, because I feel bad. So I never say anything about height.
Yeah, and one thing, me and John, I guess we're gonna let the cat out of the bag right now, but we don't fear you guys like John Ritchie and you tall motherfuckers, because
Richie.
yeah, your speed bag is at a perfect level for us. We'll
What?
work you over,
Put it on
man.
your head?
John Ritchie. I love that kid.
Yeah.
I've known him.
He's,
into
he always has a short joke for me, though. The little
Yeah.
Yeah.
big fucker.
He's full of jokes.
I told him, hey, we were sitting around Nick's table at Tinley one time, right? And I'm in that buggy. There's people everywhere. I'm in that little wheelchair thing, and there's people everywhere. So I try to back up, and I can't back up. There's people, and I'm looking forward to go ahead. This guy's got his fucking shoe in the way. I'm like, oh, get that speed bump out of the way, will you? Guy's shoes. I could literally
story when you almost knocked my table over and you thought it was Richie that hit your thing.
Yeah, that was fucking funny, man.
That was funny.
I
Yeah,
can't believe he does all these stunts on these little BMX bikes,
Yeah.
and he's really good.
He is,
yeah.
man. I think that's like what he's done his whole life. Was that stuff.
Yeah. I met his family. They were all like little people like us.
Yeah. All normal sized people. I moved him to Nerd. I moved him up there.
You did.
Yeah. I had about I don't even know, 50 venomous snakes in my truck.
Oh,
I met
God.
his parents and I met his sister.
Yeah.
And the baby. And I was like, you guys are really related to Johnny? Like he's
But
like
his dad is the same height. That's what it is. His dad is ginormous. And his brother
his dad's a big guy.
See, you know, like what happened, like I only have a sister, right? And my sister's like 5'8", and I'm 5 foot nothing, you know? So it's like, damn, how does that happen, man? You know, why couldn't she be the short one and I'd be a little bit taller, you know?
Yeah.
I got a twin
my whole
sister, she's
family's
little.
tall, but I got like 3-4 inches on all them too. I was definitely like my one brother's like 5'8", 5'9". He's not even 6 foot.
I'd take it, man. I could use to. I could live a good life. 5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I got to say, I miss the 70s and the 80s, like when we used to wear platform shoes. Now you look like a dork doing that, you know?
Mike had the goldfish living
Yeah,
in
with
the
the
heel.
goldfish, the Huggy Bear. Yeah.
Disco dancing with the bell bottoms.
Yeah, and you know what?
She also wears those big boots, and I'm like, where did this come from? I forget that she's got the boots on. I'm like, how are you like my height? She has these big combat boots she puts on.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Nicole.
Oh, nice.
She's training to kick my teeth in with those things.
Uh-oh.
Taking care of all these gals all the time.
When I got back with Karen, like we dated, and then you know I lived another life, and then in our later years we got back together. Well, you know, you guys know Karen's much taller than me, and when she came to meet me at the hospice where my mom was when she was passing away, my granddaughter Gabby goes, "I saw you and Karen hugging, Hampa," and I'm like, "Shh, don't tell nobody that." She goes, "You were standing on the curb." I'm like, "No shit. Come on, be quiet, all right?" Of all the things to notice, she noticed I was standing on the curb to hug her.
That's funny.
That's crazy, man. But so John, you got your new project, your product. You got, you know, sim containers, which we sing the praises of. I literally, I'm not like bullshitting you. You don't give me nothing for nothing. But I got to say, literally, I've been in this shit a long time, like you, and it's got to be one of the best reptile-related products to come along in a long, long time. I mean, yeah, sure, you know, they got little hides and they, you know, the cages and all that stuff, but revolutionary is Sims XL, if you ask me. And I'll never stop singing the praises. Like, you know, I'm not much of a salesman, but if there's something that I use and I believe, I could sell the shit out of them, you know? And
it's a hell of a product.
It is.
I see it online and I see it on Instagram and it's being used by people that I don't know, and they're happy with it, and they have, you know, little animals hatching in it. I'm very, very happy.
Yep, you should be.
The only product I use in my life I have zero complaints about.
You should be proud of that. It's a good
I try
product.
to share it as much as I can. I reshare people's photos if I see them. I tell people to tag me and I can, you know, give them some promotion of some kind.
Yeah.
And that's my little way of giving back, because I know they're expensive. So, you know, I want people to realize, like, you know, it's
For what you're putting
appreciated.
in
And
there, I think it's perfect. I mean, it takes a good workout. You put it.
it's worth it. Yeah.
The animal in there.
In the grand scheme of things, you know, they don't wear out. They you know, as long as you're not abusive to them, they last forever. I'm kind of weird. Like if I don't use like the scrubby part of a sponge on them. I only use the sponge part because I don't like having scratches on them. I just like them to be as pristine as possible. And, you know, to be honest with you, that's one of the, besides they work like a charm, they're beautiful, and I'm
Yeah.
kind of a whore that way. I like my shit to look nice, and you know, when you look at an incubator and it's full of eggs that you don't have to open up a lid to look at them. I could sit here and look at them from across the room. It's a great product, and yeah, good for you. And
Thank you.
you know, I'm sure there's more in your future with other inventions and stuff. You got it that way.
Maybe.
You're an artist and a designer, so
You got a lot coming out. The incubators, the light things.
Well,
doing it
the
all.
incubators, the problem, the incubators are great. Don't get me wrong. The
Yeah,
problem
they look awesome.
with them is they're not able to ship across the country inexpensively, and that's a deterrent. So everything I've sold in California to people who were, you know, local to it.
This might sound stupid, but there's no way to like assemble them like a PVC enclosure. Like they ship them flat and then the people
No.
assemble them. No.
No, because there's Freon in it to
I
keep, you know,
got
because there's a
Didn't even
cooling
think
feature.
about
I can't put them on a plane. They have to go by truck.
Yeah.
all
And,
right,
you know, throw one of those on a pallet and put on a truck. It's $500.
Yeah.
all right.
You know,
Well,
on top of the.
well, like from my standpoint, I get it. That's a great little tidbit that you can cool with them. So you can cool colubrids and other things
Yes.
in there.
Mhm.
But like, you should put out a product that doesn't have the cooling end of it, so you could flat pack them and send them around the country.
Then it would be a PVC type.
Oh, I got you. Oh, but it is PVC,
And I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that.
right?
I'm really not opposed to that. It's just I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound stupid too, but what if you sold them Freon-less? Like, you know how like you charge your car, they sell like these little canisters that the people could charge the Freon when they get them. You can go to Walmart anywhere and get your own Freon.
But I don't think
Not
it's
a bad idea.
Freon these days, is it? I think Freon is illegal, is it not?
I think it's still Freon. I'm almost.
Oh, is it?
It's legal by me.
Yeah. Well,
It's in all our cars and stuff.
they sell
Yeah.
like this little canister thing with like a gauge on it that you just literally it slips over this like plug in your car, and then you just squeeze the trigger and it'll fill it up.
yeah, I know. Before, I don't know, a few years ago, our central air actually finally took a shit. But for the longest time, you know, we would have the guy come and give it a charge of Freon. And then there came a point when they're like, no, Freon is no longer like legal by EPA or whatever. So they had this other type of gas, but it doesn't work with the fittings on the Freon. So we were I mean, dude, we could have been duped for all I know, but we got the new central air unit with this new stuff in it. We haven't had to do anything with it for several years now, but yeah, supposedly Freon was illegal.
I know
Here.
a lot of people. You can't really transport it like John said, and like if you go to like scrap like a refrigerator or something at the junkyard, they won't take it because of the Freon. So it's definitely, I don't know what's with it, but it can't be like transported. It's a bad.
Maybe I just have them made without the Freon.
Yeah.
That's you know, I mean, the Freon, I mean, it is good, but like it's good for what? Arizona, California, Florida, but like pretty much anywhere else in the United States. I mean, if you got a basement, it gets cold enough where you can hibernate your stuff right in your basement, you know?
Yes.
But I get it. There's a purpose for it in a warm climate. I
Like
get
Justin, all his stuff, even where he is, he has to cool them. Like I told you, he has the incubator he moves around his basement. But I mean, it would be beneficial if he had one that cooled. It's just nobody does it. Like he could use John's incubator for sure.
Yeah.
With us, like with monitors, obviously you don't need to cool anything.
Right.
Everything needs to be hot.
Well, you could, yeah, you wouldn't need to cool it to that extreme. Yeah. But
his has to get really cold. I think like 65s, something like that.
so, you know, it's really crazy. Like to think, you know, how the laws, these animal laws vary from state to state, and we see it's just getting worse and worse. And here in Wisconsin, if you're not near like any of the blue cities, like literally where we're at here in Wisconsin, they don't care what you have. You could have anything. But again, like when you start getting more towards like the college towns and the more populous areas, they get their ordinances, I think. Yeah, I'm sure they would be ordinances. So it's really crazy to think like you can't move from here to there, and by you moving from this spot to that spot, you're all illegal. You know, it's just so crazy, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just hopped over the border. My whole life in New Jersey is pretty strict. Not strict, but they're not the best state. And all I did was drive 20 minutes that way and move over there, and I could do whatever.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
Pennsylvania is a different world.
It is. It is. But that's why, like, I wanted to stay where I was because I was talking about this with Mason. It's like you get too far out there into Pennsylvania, and it feels like a different world. Like people by me are still like New Yorkers or New Jersey people. Like they still, and I don't want to say this the wrong way, but they seem like they have a sense about them. You get out there into like the boonies of Pennsylvania, and you feel like you're like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
And that's what I was afraid of because Mason was talking about moving to when he moved to Tennessee, and I wanted to move to Tennessee, and he was like, dude, don't. And he's like, you're not going to like it. And I'm going to stay here, but I want to stay close to Jersey. I mean, that's what I'm used to. It's just the pace of life. Like everything is fast moving.
Yeah.
And that's how I grew up. And I don't want to get too far out there. I just don't move, like behave that way. Everything I do is fast moving.
You ever
He's
see
on
the
the move.
You ever see the movie My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin?
I loved it.
He
No.
plays an Italian that's in the witness protection program.
Yeah.
He's having a hard time assimilating.
I
It
bet.
is great.
That's funny. I got to watch it.
Yeah, he's in some suburb, right? He's got like a $3,000 suit on, and
Yeah.
he's at the grocery store. This motherfucker never been in a grocery store in his life, right? So
Yeah.
he sees this hot broad in the grocery store, and he goes, "Hey, you should be careful in here." She's like, "Oh, why's that?" He goes, "You're so hot, you'll melt all this stuff." And she passes out. It was a great movie, man. That was a great movie.
Everybody keeps saying good morning to him, and he's like good morning, and then he passes another person, and like good morning, he's like good morning, and then another one, and he's good morning, and he goes, "Hey, you." Couldn't take it.
Or when
It was a big fear of mine when I moved out here. I was like, what is it going to be like? I mean, you don't see any houses from my house. Like,
Wow.
I'm like, what, are you going to see some creepy stuff at night? Like, some people walk around with shotguns and stuff, and it's like, you got used to it. It's the same thing. Everybody comes up from New York. Like in the winter, there's no one around. It's like a ghost town around here. And then this time of year, everybody pops up out of nowhere.
it's like The Shining in winter when you're over there. I
Nicole and
remember
are, like the only people around in the winter. It's so strange.
So John, Nick tells me something a long time ago. He's like, we were just chit-chatting about whatever, and
I want to be thinking about this stupid thing again.
yep, here it comes, Nick. So I told him, I'm like, "Hey, did you ever hear of the Black-Eyed Children?" He's like, "No, Uncle Mike, what's that all about?" I'm like, "That is creepy little black-eyed children that just kind of like show up on a deserted road when your tire is broken down, and like it's a legend or whatever it is." And he's like, "No shit, man. He's telling me a story about it. I'm like, one day you're going to walk out in that driveway and she's going to be standing under the light, right?" And he tells me a story that it actually did happen to him there.
Yeah. I was in my garage, and it's like you could hear a pin drop outside at my house. And I'm in my garage, and I hear, "Excuse me." And I'm like, I'm losing my mind. I just kept working, and I hear, "Excuse me." And I turn around, and this girl's in my garage. And I'm like, "Can I help you?" She's like, "I got your mail," and just handed me my mail and walked away. And I was like, "Uncle Mike, thanks."
Yeah. Where the
Wow.
did you come from?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be enough
nowhere.
for me, man.
And I mean, my garage is not at the road. You have to go all the way up my driveway, past my house to get to my garage. Like, why wouldn't you just leave it on the step or by the house? Freak me out.
Yeah. See, she was there to keep you on your
Black-eyed
toes.
children.
I think about that girl every time I'm outside at night now. She's going to pop up out of nowhere and scare the shit out of me. But that's
So,
you never know.
John, what's the what do you got for, like, okay, we know what you're working with, we know what the future. I know you do a lot of traveling too, cuz. So what do you got for the rest of the year? Will I see you in October at Tinley, or
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. See?
Maybe.
But we'll see you at Daytona.
Yeah, Daytona.
Oh yeah,
Mike,
yeah.
you should go to that one. I think you would like it.
me and Sarah, we're talking about it. We're gonna try. And again, I'm not much of a traveler. I know you guys travel all the time, but I don't know how to do all that, booking a flight and all this. So I gotta rely on my wife to do it. And I hear people saying, "Oh yeah, I went to Pittsburgh for $60," and then I'm like, "Hey man, how much can I get a flight to Pittsburgh for?" And they say, "Oh, that's $280." It's like, wait a minute. So I guess
Got to get the Hopper app.
you got to book early too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm
Yeah.
kind of running out of time here.
Like for me to get to Daytona, I'm gonna fly from Newark, New Jersey to Orlando.
Yep.
It's over $500 right now.
Wow.
That flight with the return.
Yeah.
I still gotta
With
rent a car. That's a couple $100. I gotta get a hotel. That's a few $100.
Yeah.
At least. And then, before you know it, you spend $1,500.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Are you going to be
And
vending Daytona?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I was there last year, and they had every monitor you could think of, and it was a great show.
That's
And I
exciting.
had a
Yeah.
great time, and I can't wait to go back. So.
Yeah, you ain't helping my cause much here, bro.
And it's bigger now too. It's not just the
Yeah,
one
it's
room
huge.
anymore, right?
Yeah, 2 rooms.
Yep. I haven't
2
been there.
rooms. You got the beach across the street. You got.
Nothing.
I mean,
better.
the food. It is what it is. You got Wing House.
Yeah. What is that? Bubba Gump or whatever.
Bubba Gumps. Yeah, you could eat at that place.
Yep.
There's a Dunkin' Donuts across the street, but I did find a healthy place over there near the Reptile Expo too. It's like
Yep.
a little cafe, and they sell protein shakes and
Nice.
healthy shit.
Nice.
Because otherwise you just gotta keep.
Got to be careful at night around there too.
Yeah, there's a lot of crack, cocaine, and fucking.
I didn't realize.
Heroin.
I took me and Nicole.
Oh,
were-
that's crazy, man.
I was like, "What is going on?" Like, we went from a reptile show to like a ghetto pretty quick. I was like, "Let's go back to the hotel. We'll stay in a hotel for tonight."
Oh, we have a good time though.
Yeah.
Well,
Kathy
you know, and-
Brown, Steve
Yeah.
Sandon, Alex
Kathy
comes
was like, "We're going
down.
to karaoke." I'm like, "I don't know about that, but
Yeah, we did it last year. That was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. We had a good time.
Yeah, I don't party no more, so I would imagine karaoke is going to be out for me. I'm not going to do that to everybody or myself.
I'm not going to be good at the karaoke thing."
But yeah, we're we've been talking about it, we've been thinking about it, and again, time is running out. But again, I probably will. I would just bite the bullet and get me and Sarah a ticket and fly down. So, again, I like you could fly into Melbourne too, right? That's a little closer.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Orlando for me is cheaper because everybody's flying their kids down for Disneyland,
Yeah,
Disney
yeah.
World, and all of that stuff. So the flights are cheap to Orlando.
And then you
it's
got
a
an
1
hour.
hour drive.
You got an hour drive from Orlando to Daytona. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go to Disney and all that stuff with Jay. Make a week trip out of it because we haven't taken a vacation in a long time. So gonna hang out down there. You ever know it's gonna be hot as freaking hell.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like what it is today over here. It's 90s and humid.
Yeah. Well, we've actually had it pretty comfortable. I mean, it's been hot. It's been hot, nice and sunny. But the last 2 or 3 days, we've been getting rain like crazy. So when that sun comes back, it's going to be the same as Florida here, which is kind of crazy. It's just so hot and humid. It's unbearable. But anything else you want to talk about, John?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about those new species of monitors they found?
Yeah. There you go.
That they named.
Yep.
Those little Australian.
Yeah.
I guess they're related to Orientalis.
Yeah. That's do you think, John, that maybe over all the years that maybe we have seen them, but we just always called them Orientalis? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Could have.
Or
yeah. 100%. I just don't. I haven't seen what I remember as Orientalis. I haven't seen here in a long time. They crossed it with Tristis a long time ago.
Yep.
So I don't know what pure Orientalis is anymore. Um, I was offered them in the mid '90s, and I didn't want that. I'm like, shit, I don't want those tiny things. I want
Yeah.
water monitors.
Right.
Get
Big
that out of
stuff.
my face.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with that thing? It's
Yeah. They
terrible.
are pretty, though. I can't remember the names. I'm totally blanking on the names.
Oh,
But
there's phosphorus, Varanus, I can't fucking
Iridus?
think of it either.
Iridius?
Iridis.
Mhm.
And then there's another one I can't think of.
It's a
Umbra.
U, right? Umbra.
Umbra. And then in Indonesia, you have Varanus subunicolor. That's a new one.
Okay.
That's a Timor family. And the
Yeah.
other one is Del Canto, which is the Kisar Island leopard Timors, which I wish we still had here, because
Do
those
you
are
remember?
spectacular.
Do you remember when John Hogston had that one? Oh man,
Amazing.
dude, that was amazing.
Amazing.
And literally, I've not seen them since then.
Yeah, it's been a long time since they've come in. I imported them once from Europe, but they were males.
Oh man! And did they look as good as that one that Hogston had?
They really did. They had the blushing on the throat, and the spots were gigantic, and it was really special, and really bitey.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of yellow, like bright yellow on them. They were really something.
They
nice.
were. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like, maybe like, especially with these 3 new species that are very reminiscent of, Orientalis, the Tristis type animals.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to think they've just been named. They haven't really been just discovered, because like I say, there's a high probability that we've had them actually in our hands or in the States. We just grouped them with Tristis,
Yeah.
So that's very cool. And we were talking about the Dwyer eye.
Yeah.
And John Carlson, don't you, John?
Yes.
Yeah. So he imports some stuff, and he had gotten this might have been you'll probably know the story.
I remember
a year or something ago, and he got it, and he's asking me about it. He's like, "Oh, this thing's never been discovered." I'm like, "Dude, that's a Dwyer eye." He's like, "Oh, you know that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know that. I know that animal." I'm like, "What do you want?" I wasn't interested in it. I'm like, "What do you want for it?" I'll ask around. He told me what he wanted for it. And like, I reached out to Foley, because I know at that time he was getting them or wanted them or whatever. And I told him what he wanted for him. And he goes, "That guy's out of his mind." I called John up. I'm like, "Dude, he ain't going for that price, man. You got to make it, reasonable." So he came up with a better price. Foley bought it, and I believe he sent it to Kai. But again, that's the last I've ever heard of that animal.
I'm not going to get into that.
I don't know.
His issue with him, and I don't want anything to do with it. But Dwyer eye has all the makings of a species, and I don't know why it's not a valid species. It got shot down somehow, but it really should be elevated. It should be its own thing.
What do they say it is? Like, what is it under technically?
It's an Indicus family type animal from the Solomons.
Gotcha.
So you got the gigantic Rennell Island Juxtindicus, and then you have these little tiny ones, and the tiny one is a true species. Like, it has a pink tongue, and it's petite, and it's morphologically petite. Like, it's totally different than the Solomon Island type.
That's crazy.
But I don't know why it got shot down. I think it just needs to be reevaluated. They might need more voucher specimens to look at. Maybe it's DNA or something they got to do.
It's really funny. We had a conversation with, who was it? Apple and Nick, about taxonomy. Yeah. And like, he works closely with that discipline. And he was saying, he goes, "You wouldn't believe the that goes on with, like," he was, and I might be explaining this wrong, but he was saying, like, if you get something new and you slap a name on it and somebody re-looks at it and says, no, it's not that, it's whatever. What he's saying is, so the big rush for these taxonomist guys is to get a name on it, because even when it's re-looked at, now you got to stick with that name. So it's not who's right, it's who's first. And that's kind of messed up, when you're trying to be accurate. You know what I mean? It's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
I just wonder, why, we had the spinnies come in, we had monkey tails come in. Why don't we get Juxtindicus, or why don't we get Dwyer come in?
I think Juxtindicus did come in.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, but they look. If you're not paying attention, it's a mangrove monitor.
It is.
You're gonna overlook it.
That's one I'd love to work with.
I'm interested in the Indonesian side of spinulosus, the ones from Bougainville, with a different pattern.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think that turquoise-ish blue one Kathy has is a Solomon Island animal, or this new one you're talking about?
No, it's probably Solomon Islands.
So it's a spinulosus, but it looks a lot different.
Yeah, it's a little different. Even I think the head morphology is a little bit different.
Really?
But it's spinulosus.
Wow.
So do you?
I like spinulosus. That's a very bizarre old species that is kind of like a remnant of a much larger, broadly ranging species that died out elsewhere, and it just held on where it is now.
Yeah.
And they are really, really rare if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a few little islands. They live with mangrove monitors. St. Patrick with them.
So
eh?
doing similar things, but for some reason they work it out.
Yeah, it's when were they? When were they brought to the hobby? Very recently, I would imagine.
I imported 4 of them in 2011, and before that, they weren't here since the 90s.
Okay,
but as soon as I imported them, then the floodgates opened, and then everybody started bringing them in.
Yeah.
And then they went dirt cheap for a while, and now you can't get them. So price went.
Yep. Yeah. It's a
125 a piece. I think it was a year and a half, 2 years ago, which is crazy. It's not.
It's a really different species. I mean, it's scalage along its head. It seems much finer.
Yeah.
Its eye has a really unique look to it, and so its look from the head and the eye just makes it stand apart.
It is the oldest existing monitor that's still alive.
Wow.
It's the oldest existing species of monitor.
That's crazy.
And it has a lot of unique things, like that skin, that rough skin that it has, and the big eyes, and the shape of the skull after the eyes, between the nose and the eyes, is different than most monitors. Big eyes. And they're not genetically related to anything else in the area. So they're really strange.
Me and Nick, sometimes we just kind of sit around, we bullshit and throw ideas at each other. And it's they're very reminiscent of the look, the head, the eye. It's very reminiscent, if I'm, giving a judgment on it, to the Frugorius monitors.
Yeah.
And as we were talking about it, I forget who we were talking with, Nick, but that
Spracklin.
Maybe it was Spracklin. It'd be a very good experiment, to see if they'd take a fig. And I'm not saying on a, they can make a living off a fig, but would they touch fruit? Because they look so much like the.
That would be. I think that's the species that they are most distantly related to.
Is the
fruit eaters
Frugorius
in the Philippines? So that fruit-eating species in the Philippines probably had a wider range going through Papua. Maybe they're still there. Papua's gigantic.
Yeah.
Gigantic and still very wild. There could be pockets of these things there. Connecting all the way to the Solomons. We got the spinulosus, which is distantly related, but more related to them than mangrove monitors or anything else over there.
Right.
I just love spinnies just for that reason. There's just such an anomaly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like the roughneck or like a Mertens. They're just so different than everything else around them.
I
But
just
Yeah.
recently
we're
learned that the Merton's closest relative is Giganteus,
really,
and
Because
they couldn't be any different.
yeah,
right. Well,
true.
I mean, when I had first learned that Mertensi was in the Gouldai complex, it's like it struck me as like so up and so wrong. Yet,
Weird.
you know, their feeding behavior is very much Gouldai. I mean, they're savages, but they're highly aquatic. So how does that correlate? But yeah, I guess if you take a highly successful animal and somehow it becomes introduced into a different habitat, if they're adaptable, they adapt to like from being a dry scrubland species to living in a billabong, no problem,
Mhm.
So it's weird how, you know, you have these observations of animals, right? Then when you get to the science behind it, it's like, wow, I should have seen that, right? Just like what you're saying.
Yep. With the Kathy Spinney, John, do you think that's just a one-off, or you think there's a population of those?
I think I don't know. Like I think
Hers is so strange. It's just
it's
crazy.
very beautiful. I got one. My male is green.
Really?
The sheen on him is green all the way up to the top of his head,
Wow, that's
and
And
cool.
he's got a really beautiful pattern, and he's very bright. Like
Yeah, mine are
Like,
both copper down to their shoulders. Just a
Right.
normal
my
skinny
female
girl.
is like that. She's got like a copper head, and she's very sweet. I like working around her. She's fun.
Yeah, that's funny because my female is too, but with every other species, the females are irate.
Yeah, she's
But
my
the
female
Spinnies,
is really
my
sweet.
male's a psycho.
Yeah,
he'll
my male's
he'll
nuts.
bite you, and
Yeah, he ran out on me. I grabbed him by the hips. He's biting my wrist. I was like,
Yeah.
shit.
and that bite is no joke. I underestimated it big time. I couldn't get it off.
I know.
That was terrible. I had to get my dad to come help me.
I got bit by a Kimberly rock recently on my finger. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
believe the blood that came out of my finger from a Kimberly rock.
It's not.
It
well,
was like razor blade slices, you know?
yeah. I
It was
have
like an,
yet
it was like an
I have
adult,
yet-
but still.
I have yet to get bit by the Tojis, and I don't want that to happen.
No, don't do it.
But
Maybe not.
the worst bite I've ever taken from a branded was Similis, man. That thing bit me so hard and it wouldn't let go. And like every time I would relax, he'd clamp down on it and I'd get tense and he'd loosen up. And then it was just like, and he wouldn't let go for nothing, man. And, you know, the story goes, so I was holding it like this, right? I had his head here. I'm
Yeah.
holding it like this, and they're working their way out. So it worked its way out to its shoulders. Now I got it by the shoulders here, and its head is free. It bites me here, and I wasn't expecting it. So, when something happens like that and you get shocked, you're like, oh, you clench real tight.
Yeah.
Well, I threw out my sciatic nerve in my hip.
Oh,
So,
no.
yeah, and that was like over a weekend. So Monday, Sunday night comes along and I'm still gimping around real bad. Like I couldn't feel my leg. And I called my boss. I'm like, oh, Nick, I threw up my sciatic nerve. I can't come to work. He goes, just come to work. And, you could bull float or you could just stand around. I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, dude, you're talking about walking on like bird perches, the rebar.
Yeah.
You got to have your legs there, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, how the hell did that happen? I told him, I said, got bit by a lizard. Dude, that was it, man. The next union meeting, everybody's like, hey, lizard, man. They're all busting my balls about a lizard bit me and threw out my sciatic nerve, but they don't understand. You know what I mean?
I worked at a concrete site as a laborer for the local union, and I was a young guy, and I was just doing labor, whatever they needed me to do, moving wheelbarrows and shit. And they asked me, "Hey, new guy, what do you want for lunch?" And I was like, "I don't know, maybe like a peanut butter and jelly." Well, they use that against me for everything. They're like, "This guy wants peanut butter and jelly like he's fucking a kindergartner." I was like, "Oh my god!" I just ruined the relationship, but they wind up loving me,
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah,
Peanut butter and jelly. Who the hell eats peanut butter and jelly?
A kid like a kindergartner. Like those guys are eating them sandwiches.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think any of them live past 57 years old. They're just like,
And the ones that did, they walk around like me.
yeah, oh, it's
Yeah.
It's a
terrible.
brutal trade, man.
It's a brutal trade.
Yeah, but it pays well, so that's what kept me in it, you know.
Absolutely.
Plus, you know, we always used to call it going to the health club. So we, you know, work out, doing all that hard work, and get in a suntan, and you get paid good. So why not?
Hey, why not?
Yeah. So when I got injured and I couldn't go back to doing that because you know my legs, this guy, I forget what they called it. He was a vocational trainer guy. So my lawyer calls me and he goes, "Hey, you got to come in and see this vocational guy. He goes, he's a real pain in the ass. Just listen to him, see what he says, you know." And at this point, I'm like 25 years in the trade, pissing on the columns, you know, swearing, picking my nose, flicking boogers across the room, you know, no decorum. And this guy comes up. I'm in the office. This guy walks in and he goes like this. He goes, "Oh, Mike." He goes, "This is going to be great." I'm looking around. I'm like, "Me?" He goes, "This is going to be great. We're going to give you $200. I'm like, "Okay, I'm good with that." He goes, "And you're going to take that $200. You're going to go to the big and tall store. You're going to pick out the best suit, whatever suit you want." And I'm like, "You lost me at the suit, right?" He goes, "And then we're gonna train you how to work in an office environment." I said, "Me?" He's like, "Yeah, this will be great." I'm like, "Dude, it ain't gonna happen." He's like, "Oh no, but you know, we'll teach you how to behave." And I'm like, I said, "Little man," I said, with all due respect, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to work in an office building. And like, I see my lawyer's kind of like this, you know?
Yeah.
So the guy leaves. I'm not on no schedule for vocational training or whatever it was called. And my lawyer comes up and he's snickering. He puts his hand out. He's like, I shake his hand. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Casey?" He goes, "Dude, I've been waiting 5 years for someone to tell that guy to go I said, "Dude, I can only be for real. I can't do that. I just, it's not, you know, some people can do it. I couldn't behave, I guess, you know." But it was, it's a funny story at any rate.
Column.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it either. That's not for me.
So, Janusz, you're still like working your shoe thing, right?
Yeah.
So you still working a shoe thing? You got any travel plans for that, or you just never know?
No, right now I'm kind of free, so I've been hanging out with the animals at home.
Very cool.
Home. I do have to go to jury duty, so I've been doing that.
Wow.
But I'm almost done, and then I'm good for 8 years.
Is it a good case at least?
It's a number of different cases. It's grand jury, so I'm listening to a lot of different cases.
Wow.
I'm sworn to secrecy, though, so I can't tell you exactly.
Hey, you know, I mean, if you do, no one's gonna. Hey, everybody, keep it quiet. Let's hear it, John. No, you wind up in jail.
Yeah,
but it's crazy. Like they get you for jury duty through voting, correct?
I guess so.
Yeah, and like I voted. Maybe I move around too much. I don't know. I've never been
called, but they always cancel it. Like I get there and they're like, "No, you're good." I don't know.
Yeah.
Nice. This is my first time. I'm 50 something years old, and first time I'm doing it.
And
I don't mind it.
You can't refuse it, right?
You can. There's ways of getting out of it, but I didn't. I was actually kind of curious about it, and so I've been doing it.
They pay or something too, right? I forget how. Do they give you pay or something or an excuse?
Yeah, it's like $70 a day.
Yeah, so they give you half of what you need to pay to park, right? In New York?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my cat in the window.
I was gonna say I could see eyes.
You don't. I can't. My yeah, good. You don't have any. You don't have a dog, huh, John?
No.
Well,
I got Ozzy.
It's kind of
he's over there in that window right there.
I could barely see. But so listen, John. I know we're on like 2 hours here. We could talk forever. much love and respect to you, cuz.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show, and you're always a great conversation. You're a great guy. We appreciate you coming on. But
I'll come back again. There's still a lot more to talk about.
Absolutely. So,
It's endless, John. I could ask you a million questions. Book of knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get out here and talk all those localities, like we were saying.
I want to do that.
You know what? I see you on other podcasts and stuff, and one thing that sticks out in my mind about you since we were, much younger men is your artwork, your drawing of, documenting localities of animals that you actually draw with your hand.
I used to draw them. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
that.
and
I still have the drawings.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe sometime we get you back on here and you could,
I could
show
show
some.
you.
Show some of the drawings.
It was like comparative, it was like different islands and different patterns and all the different neck patterns.
Yep, the temporal line.
Country, like neighboring countries, like how the neck pattern changed. Like they went from triangles with dots connecting under the chin to modeled pattern to no pattern at all, maybe a couple of dots here and there. So I drew all of that at the time.
Now, has any of your drawings, because it's totally realistic, it's not cartoony stuff. It's like real to life drawings. Has anyone ever approached you to use it on an identifying chart or anything like that, or any characteristics that you've seen with your eyes? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
That hasn't happened.
Well, we'll work on it. We'll work on it for you, cuz.
I used to draw sulfurs all the time because it was, and I still love sulfurs. So I used to draw the one in my bedroom when I was a kid.
Wow.
And she was cool. It was a really nice lizard. You could put her on your bed, and she would sit still, and you could just sketch her. And I used to draw all of her differences, and I draw the normal water monitor next to her so I could compare them.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you do for a career, right, John? You design the shoes and you draw them out yourself.
I draw them myself, but now it's as time went on, I draw less, and now I just ask AI to do it for me. Hey, draw this for me.
That's crazy.
It's so much faster.
Yeah, you're an artist, so you understand. I get it to an extent, but not being an artist, in that fashion, what is the beef? Why is everybody against AI art?
I don't know. I don't know. In my opinion, some things that AI does is beautiful,
right?
But some of it's crazy.
But so I guess the beef that artists would have, there's no artist involved, right?
Right. Sometimes I have AI design a lizard in the city or something with sunglasses on, and for things like that, it's fun. It can be a very fun thing.
Yeah.
Or if you have a tattoo idea, I'll be like, hey, I have a tattoo idea. Let me ask AI to draw it up and see what it looks like. But if I'm drawing something personal to me, I'd rather do it by hand and put all my efforts into it.
Yeah, right.
Totally different feeling, and then I embrace it differently. It's personal to me.
And the little bit, I don't know nothing about AI art, but I know Nicky's been doing some of these skits and stuff with it. And correct me if I'm wrong, you kind of have to explain to AI what you're looking for, and then they give you an idea. Then you got to hone it from there and say, no, take that out, put this in. So you gotta
sometimes it doesn't get there for a while. You gotta literally go back. Sometimes it hits it right on the head, and sometimes you're come on, what am I saying that you're not understanding?
The prompts have to be exact, and it's gonna still do what it's gonna do what you asked, but sometimes it just doesn't come out exactly what you want.
Well, Nick, he made that I don't know what it's called, the viral or whatever, when there's those TikTok where people do the dances and things.
Yes.
He sends me one with me doing this dance. I'm like, holy that's cool as I could never move like that.
I pissed my pants when I saw that. I thought it was great.
I didn't know if you've seen that or not, but my sister calls me and goes, that's bullshit. I'm like, what, G? She goes, that's bullshit. You could never move like that. I'm like, no, man, I've been exercising. I did it. She's like, yeah, right. So I couldn't even bullshit my own sister with it.
I did that one to Jay before he could walk, and now I could see him actually busting out that move. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. That one is very, I mean, it's so awesome. It just makes your kid, like I could actually see your kid doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right, man. Well, listen, we're like, I don't know, 2 hours and 15 minutes here. So, John, man, always thank you.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an honor and pleasure to know you over all these years. Thank you for coming on the show and lending your knowledge and wisdom to the brainiacs out there. So,
thank you.
There you have it, everybody. John Adragna from Sim Container.
Thank you.
Thanks for always supporting me, John, and answering all my questions throughout the years.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime, man. I'll come back on soon. Just let me know when you want me. I'll come back.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll do something with localities. Like we
Yeah, there you go. Sounds good. Have your drawings ready.
Good. I will.
All right, cuz. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye now.
Love yous. Bye.
Love you too, bro.
Bye.
Be good.
What's going on, guys? So when it comes to husbandry, I can't think of anything more important than your feeders. What you're putting through your animal, but not only that, what's going through the animal that's about to go through your animal. There's a lot of steps to it, and if you're not farming it yourself, it can be very hard to find someone you could trust. So let me take the guesswork out for you. Kleinsfeeders.com is the best that I've found. It's who I use. It's who Uncle Mike uses. It's someone I know personally. It's family owned. They've been doing this since 2008, guys. 18 years. They know what they're doing. They've fine-tuned and perfected it throughout their farms, and I have nothing to complain about. I've had nothing but positive experience with Brendan and his family. They are the best out there. And the best part is they're in the United States. Don't buy from these guys because they're getting them from China and all overseas. And by the time they get here, who knows what those feeders are packed with. So don't mess around. Go to kleinsfeeders.com and feed the best you can. What's going on, guys? Whether you're a first-time shipper or a veteran to the industry, Reptiles to You has you covered. Reptiles to You has everything you need to ship your reptiles and invertebrates safely. From top-notch supplies to an industry-leading live customer service team, Reptiles to You is a one-stop shop that we've used and trusted for years. They've got options on their website for single-purchase shipping kits or bulk options for all the best supplies to use if you're a breeder that ships out larger volumes at a time or just a box here and there. And of course, you can create your own shipping labels on their website at the lowest rates in company history. Part of providing the best for our animals is also ensuring that they travel safely to their new homes. And there's no team better than that, than the people at Reptiles to You. So guys, if you're looking to partner with the best in the industry, it's an easy choice. I did it a long time ago and I never looked back. Follow the link in the description and join the Reptiles to You family today.
Everybody, John Adragna, Sim Container, what a wealth of knowledge. Guy who's been around for a long time, very humble man, which is, you don't often find that with Italian guys, but yeah, very humble guy, very knowledgeable. Honor to have him on our show, right, Nick?
Yep, definitely a big honor. I've known John since I've gotten into the hobby. He's at all my local shows, and he was the monitor guy to talk to. So it's cool to come full circle and be friendly with him, and I still annoy him with questions all the time. So
yeah. Yeah, and it's like you say, you've known him a long time, and you're younger than us, so you're like, I don't know, I don't want to sound dumb, but like you're like in awe, not in awe of us, but like you're impressed with us, you look up to us or whatever, and for this to come around where you're actually sitting down with, me and him, and you're in the conversation. You're actually a big part of the conversation. I'm happy for you too,
Uncle Mike. Yeah, it's still weird because I still feel like that. I don't know. I was probably 12 the first time I went to a reptile show with my dad, somewhere around there. I still feel like that kid, but a lot of time has passed, and to sit here with you guys and have a conversation of how we breed monitors and do stuff together, it's still a crazy experience to be sitting.
And you just said something that I should have asked John while he was on. You say, when you were 12. When you were 12, you were still a foot taller than both of us, right?
Seriously, I probably was. Probably 100 pounds leaner, but probably the same height.
Very cool. Well, listen, Nick. Well, we kind of missed.
Yeah, we blew through because I felt bad. We had John sitting there. I always feel bad when they're sitting there for a while and want to get them on because I know what it's like being on that receiving end. And I don't think John's antsy, but some people, like, it's their first podcast and you're sitting there like, I got to get in there. So I just wanted to get John on there. And
well, you know what? I got to say, Nick, I always thank you for all the technical things you do for this podcast and for actually being like the governor, because I lose track. I start babbling, and it's glad I'm glad that you reel it in and bring it back to the show. So I appreciate you.
We were sitting there for a half hour talking, and we didn't even get to talk about that stuff, but we had some good conversations beforehand. I'm like, hold on, let's get in there and let everybody see this. So
we always do that when we have our conversations in the green room. It's like, wait. Let's save this for the show. Yeah. So with that being said, there's a few things that I don't know. Maybe we did hit it, and maybe you have to delete this. But at any rate, so in news, we haven't had much, going on. Not much to talk about. But I want to bring up something. Nicky Nick, working hard with his Salvadori. He actually got a really nice, decent sized clutch. Unfortunately, they were infertiles. You get back on the horse and you're gonna nail that species, Nick. But congratulations to you for getting to that point.
Thank you, Uncle Mike. It was a kick in the nuts at first, as I said in my post, but it was a lot of time spent. But I learned a lot, and I feel comfortable with this upcoming. Hopefully, what's going on. Like, I saw what she wanted. She showed me her cards, and now I can play on that and kind of hone in even further and make it better, which I did today, actually.
Nick, I say this all the time, man. We learn more from failures and mistakes than you do from successes. When everything went right, you don't have nothing to look back on. You're like, oh, here's my eggs, they're in the incubator. But when there's a failure, you start questioning why. So you learn more from your failures. So it's only onward and upward from there. And you, like you just said, you have figured out something from this nesting event. So very good.
And I appreciate that, Uncle Mike. It's like, I don't know. And I'm not taking away from anybody else that's gotten eggs. Obviously, we've had Robert on. He had them nest too. It's just there's things I wanted to figure out for myself so I can duplicate them further. And we didn't really,
of which,
the first time he laid was just scattered. So I didn't have a lot to play on. But with that, now I have a successful lay and just going to keep going.
That's what I'm saying. You're advancing. You're moving the ball. So, correct me if I'm wrong, and I may be like daydreaming or something, but did Replandia not just?
Yeah, they did. That's one we forgot. And I knew I was going to write that down too. Quetzal just pulled the clutch from his.
Yeah, but and I'm not taking nothing away from nothing. I mean, I don't care. Of course, when they're not properly nested, there's always. There's always the chance that without proper nesting that, it could affect the female in some bad way, holding eggs or ruptured eggs or whatever. But if I'm not mistaken, those eggs that he had just got were pretty much scattered, right? They weren't buried or nested. They were just kind of laid.
From what I saw, I didn't really see. I don't think he really spoke on it either. She dug and then just kind of like backed under something. I don't think she dug like a big nest, but she just backed underneath something and laid them.
Well, good. Congratulations to Quetzal over at Replandia Lagoon for another clutch of Salvadori.
Yep.
And there was another.
I said a lot on here too that I believe that they were annual. We talked about that, Uncle Mike. That you kind of contested that, and you think if you give them proper, that they could be a more frequent. And I'm starting to get behind that for sure.
Yeah.
Seeing what's going on now, I think be able to do them more than once a year is definitely a possibility.
Yeah, well, when things are, I don't even know the proper word for it. Would be what annual, like maybe once or double clutch in a year. Now that, in my experience, has more to do with like seasons,
definitely,
and not seasons like most people are thinking, like winter, spring, summer, fall. I'm saying seasons like a wet season brings on more insect, which ups their food intake. So if that's what it is, it is annual, dictated by food consumption. All you got to do is do like I say, and trick them with a food cycle. You got to always keep them in that time of plenty. Is that the best thing to do long term? I don't think so, because as we all know, humans, any mammal, any animal that has ovum, it carries ovum in their body. You're born with all the ovum you're gonna ever need.
Yeah.
So if you take, just for example, like my
fast track with the female, you're kind of going through those pretty quick.
You're going through, like, so figure like a gun with a 30-round magazine. That's all you get is 30 rounds. So when you shoot 10, well, you're a third down. When you shoot 20, you're 2/3 down. And then so you're really depleting these females, where those 30 rounds in their natural habitat, in their natural seasons and timing, that's spread out over a much longer time. However, when we keep them in captivity, I shouldn't say when the way I do it, I got to keep them hot, feed them a lot, keep them in that time of plenty, get all the eggs out of them, which is, I love these animals. And then it does make me think sometimes, hey, I'm breeding them a little too hard, a little too fast. But
Uncle Mike, the thing is, like, I feel like it's hard to get them at a time of plenty when you keep them right, because I've tried with black dragons. Like, I've tried to stop them without pairing them, and she'll just lay in fertile eggs and fertile eggs. So it's like, why let life go to waste when it's happening?
That's my theory. That's what I'm going to get them while I can get them. And, hopefully
it is with the crocs. Maybe they're just, it's what is it? It's very rare to see eggs, even in fertiles, from croc monitors, because there's something that we're missing. We don't understand enough. So, like, if you understand enough to keep doing it, like, we think that they're annually just because they're hard. But, like, once you get them dialed in, maybe you can go down the line with it. It's not like a Shinosaurus or an earless where, like, I could see them being annually just because of their gestation. Like, Shinosaurus have to be annually. There's no way to double up on them.
Well, as being a big garter snake guy, living in the upper Midwest here where we have seasons, so a lot, and then I know this happens with Boeleni pythons too, it's very important for males to get to a certain low temperature.
Definitely.
To build up spermatophores, and to, for females to ovulate and produce ovum. So they need this time off, and that cold triggers all of that. Just like with, garter snakes, it's like, during their dormancy, during their brumation or hibernation is when the males build sperm and the females. So you can do it. However, certain animals, like from these climates that have such a long overwintering, I don't think it's beneficial to try to just keep breeding those. I think they need that time off. And I may be totally wrong on this, but I don't think New Guinea and whatever, Solomon Islands, I don't think none of these places get to extreme cold for long periods of time like we do here in North America.
Definitely.
So that's why I think we can get away with pushing them.
Yeah, that was my kind of hypothesis with the quints, was like why people weren't getting the breed. I think they need that time of cooling. Maybe not for sperm production, but just like mentally to kind of have a season just to get cooler. And like when they come out of that, it kind of reminded me of like a shinny. Like they were just ready to go every time we tried it. Yeah,
see that I think, like for garter snakes, shinnies, all of these other animals that come from, a temperate climate where it gets actually very cold, like cold that will kill the animal if they don't brumate or hibernate.
Yeah,
I think that's innate, that's built into them, that's how their body functions. Where I don't think, like I don't want to say that. So, okay, any subtropical and tropical animals, sure, they probably benefit from a dry season or a wet season. They don't have that extreme cold that's needed for sperm production and ovum, you know?
Yep.
So I think that's why we could do what we do with these varanids in this way.
Like you said, it could be slight triggers, like a bunch of bugs coming out in the spring might be enough to spark something in. Like I was telling you with the crocs, like, I don't know. I don't think this was the trigger. I'm not saying like if you want to breed crocs, throw leaves at them, but that's what I did. I just did it naturally. I was putting more leaves in and I just loaded it up the enclosure with like this thick of leaves, like a couple inches. And then they started breeding that night. So it was just, I think it was the stimuli, something different, just like kind of woke them up from whatever it was. And they started breeding.
I know when we were talking about this, not on the podcast the other day, and you were telling me about the leaves and, you know, you were like questioning, what do you think? And I do think that, you know, we're keeping these animals in captivity. They're in a box and we know every inch of that cage, and we ain't living in that cage. They live in that cage. They know every inch of it. So every little smell, I mean, I'm sure they walk past, you know, little sticks and whatever, and they recognize that because they live in there with it. Yeah. So when you throw in something like a bird nest, you know, you get outside in your yard or whatever, throw in a bird nest, a big pile of leaves, a new log. Yeah, that's just their brain just, you know, started firing. And I think that stimulation of their thought process, it really boosts like every function in their body. Like they're just so happy that it's something new that I think it really does trigger something in them.
Yeah, and that's why, like tonight, like if I was there, I have the windows open there anyway, actually. But tonight, like I have fans that blow into my place. So like when it's raining like this, I open the windows because it's just like, man, all those smells got to be rolling through there and just waking them up.
And the barometric pressure too. Like you will get barometric pressure whether you open the windows or not. However, when you open that window, now you're getting a much stronger pressure within your room or your whatever, your facility. So yeah, I always say that helps.
With rain, I've seen laying, I've seen mating behavior. It started out of nowhere just because of rain. That's a huge advantage. And like I used to just open the windows and I'm like, man, let's really pull this in. So I have fans at every window now to really get in there quickly. Yeah,
no, it's always been a plus when it's raining out to open your windows and, you know, get that barometric pressure change, the smells. I mean, you know how it is, especially like, you know, where you and I live, we live pretty much in the woods. And when it rains, I mean, there's nothing better than the smell of, you know, wet earth. It's just so refreshing and it's renewing. It does something even to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So imagine, you know, on a grander scale that can smell and sense and all that stuff. Like we're like bottom of the barrel for senses. Like they have
absolutely
everything on the highest scale. So that's just little stuff that I've tried. And is it actually beneficial? I'm sure there's some science out there somewhere, but it's worked for me. It's just things that I've picked up on and then random past you, Uncle Mike, you're like, yeah, that's totally a thing.
Well, you know, it's funny. It's like, we're very good at what we do with these animals. Are we scientists? No. Are we mathematicians? No. Are we meteorologists? No. But there's no denying what we see happening with our animals when all this stuff happens and we see it and we notice it. We can't quite put it into the right words scientifically. However, you can't tell me that what I'm saying ain't true because I see it and I live it. Whether I know how to convey that to, like, you know, another monitor guy, we know what we're talking about. But to convey that to like science or academia, you know, we just don't have the words or. You know what I mean?
I say this with I work on cars. I've pulled motors out. I've pulled.
There you go. This is a great analogy.
I don't know which wrench this is, but I use it to pull those bolts out. and I don't have the names for things, but I could pull that motor. I could do the same job as that trained mechanic. I just don't have the terminology.
Right.
And I've always said that. And my friends that are into cars will make fun of me, like, oh, you don't know what this ratchet is. It's like, who cares? I can do the job just as well.
It doesn't matter to me. I know it's going to do what I need it to do. Right. Yeah. Very good analogy. I always like that one from you, Nick.
Thank you, Uncle Mike. And
Yeah.
I don't know. You just got to be open to all those things and seeing those little things. Like, I'm always honest and I tell everybody what's going on here. So like the coli, I have the coli. I've seen nothing. And they're very reclusive species. They like to hide a lot. But when they do come out, they're usually one at a time. The male will come out, go around, female will come out. But the other day, I was just going through footage because I scan real fast. And I saw the male chasing the female. And I'm like, oh, wait, hold up a second. And go back. And it's like, that's a great sign for something. Now, from keeping that species kind of like on a back burner and not paying attention, they move to the front. And I'm like, there's something going on here that I need to pay attention to. And it goes back to the less is more, Uncle Mike. That's what I was saying before. I wouldn't have picked that up because I'm overwhelmed with looking at 20 different cameras instead of 9. So,
and like I we've been on a while, but I want to reiterate some things that, I don't really pay attention to because I just do what I do. And, we get along, we don't get along. There's people I do get along with. There's people I don't see eye to eye with, but just know one thing from my standpoint and my protege, Nicky Nick's standpoint, the things we say, I don't care. You want to boop the snoot, put the hat on your bearded dragon, eat your ice cream while you're watching TV. That's okay. I'm not picking on anybody. I'm not bullying anybody in saying this. It's just at the level where, and I don't want to sound arrogant, but at the level where we're at with these animals, I respect them more than to keep them out for a prolonged period of time in a 75-degree room. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. But
the best thing, Uncle Mike, is I don't want to cut you off, and it's not like I know exactly what you mean, and I'm sure most people would, but it's like the levels of it. It's like it's the time spent, like it's the time that you've been in it. You went through those things, those tiers of like I'm not gonna say you ever put a hat on, but like you went through that. You went through I want to be social with my animal, and we talked about this today. It's like I've been there personally. Like I thought being social with an animal is like top tier. It doesn't go past that. Like if you have a social animal, that's it. And then I'm like, you can have a social animal, but then having a social animal that breeds in captivity is an even higher step. And then It's just the more you learn about them, the higher up the rungs you go. And there's higher than a breeder too. It's just that's where I decided to stop. That's where I was like, this is what I like to do. This is as close to what I wanted to do in this hobby. So I mean, there's past that, and if putting a hat on is where you want to stop, that's cool. If you want to stop having a social animal watching TV, that's cool. That's not what we're saying. It's just what we do. It just doesn't make sense anymore.
Right. And again, like we're saying about that, do what you do. You like ball pythons. I got nothing against ball pythons. They're not for me. And we crack on them. But you know what?
But it's funny. Like I don't take it personally at all. Like I remember when I was into tegus, monitor guys would always be like, "Oh, tegus are for losers. You got to get monitors." And I'm like, "Screw you guys!" And like, I like tegus, but now like here I am as a monitor guy. It's like I didn't take anything personally, like to heart about it. It's a joke.
And so my stance, our stance, Monitor Brain stance on ball pythons. They're not for us. However, I gotta say, this hobby is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you know what? I personally have to thank ball pythons for that. That's what brings in a lot of people. And a lot of people may start collecting ball pythons. And, I started off as a snake guy. I was into all kinds of animals, a hodgepodge collection like everybody else. Then I kind of found my niche with North American desert rat snakes. I love them. And nothing would have turned me away from them. Then I got bit by the varanid bug. And now nothing else has impressed me enough to veer away from, the varanids for a very, very long time. However, I'm very grateful I love garter snakes. I'm very grateful for entry level animals that bring people in, because not everybody comes in at that level, and I don't mean level, that comes in with that love of ball pythons or boas, and they stay there. They advance. They go to womas or they go to indigos. There's always a progression. And, you know, let's be honest, Nick, 90% of the time it starts with ball pythons.
Yep.
So we have fun.
That brought me to shows, that got me into agamids, and I fell in love with agamids, and I never thought I'd.
It's a progression. And some people go this way, and some people are like, I don't want to have nothing to do with those monitors, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But just know that it's nothing personal. We crack on ball pythons because, dude, I am a ball buster. I've always been a ball buster my whole life. I mean, dude, like, don't take yourself so serious. Whoever I'm talking to, which I'm talking to nobody. So along with that, now the only other thing that I got to say is when we talk about whole prey and processed foods, that comes from a place of love for these animals. I have been there. I have done it all with monitor lizards. And I could just tell you, processed foods and, you know, wild caught foods, that's all cool. And you can do it all, not so much processed foods. I'm not ever going to say it's okay to give them a little bit of this or a little bit. I'm never going to say that about processed foods. However, if you want to go to the store and get a salmon flank and give it to them, just don't get, and please don't take this the wrong way. I know there's some sensitive people out there. I don't get it, but just don't make that a habit and make it be through that habit. It becomes a staple. Now, when it becomes a staple, that's when I say that's lazy. Yeah. It's too easy to, you know, and I'm thinking back in the old days, it's too easy to go to the grocery store and get, you know, a chicken breast and chop it up, or a salmon fillet and chop it up. But nowadays, you can have whole prey items delivered to your door.
Yeah.
Quail eggs delivered to your door. So it doesn't get much easier than that. So again,
to you before, Uncle Mike, it's like, even with, I try to get like the meat that we eat, just because the taste is so much better. I know doesn't have anything in it, and strictly it's really for the taste. Like if I get a burger from like these private farms, stuff like that, it just tastes so much better. So my wife and I, it's the best. My wife and I normally get them from there. And when I'm lazy, I'm like, Nicole, just grab it at the store. Like, we don't have time to order. We forgot to order. Just get it there. And I regret it every time I eat it. And I'm like, well, I should have got it at the farm. This stuff is disgusting. But that's
absolutely
me lazy, because I could have ordered it. I just didn't have the time, or and
again, see, Nick, I think you're wrong there. I think you're wrong there. That's not lazy, because when you eat that and you're like, wow, man.
Oh, I'm just saying the convenience of, she's already at the store to get
right. But my point is this.
Yeah.
You're not lazy. Would be as if you did that week in and week out. Yeah. That's lazy. You need to do it. There's times when, you're hungry, you're on the road, you got to stop at a McDonald's. You know you're eating, who knows what you're eating. It's crap. But in a pinch, but you wouldn't eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at McDonald's. And if you did, you're freaking lazy. Yeah. So that's I'm just saying, whatever it is, if it's a flank of fish, if it's a piece of turkey neck or whatever, just don't make it a treat. As a treat, it's okay. But once it becomes repetitive and lazy, that we say, what you don't realize what's happening is it's affecting your animal's liver and hydration.
Yep.
From your liver and hydration, you get gout, you get rickets, you get all kinds of crazy things that you don't get with whole prey items. So, again,
from experience, it's not like we're just because we have a food sponsor or something like that we were like trying to get more people. It's like, I've lost animals to gout from other people and my own mistakes. I've lost animals from kidney failure, and it's like they all were derivative of one thing. And this is like vets telling me this. This isn't like stuff that I made up one
And
Friday
not
night.
only vets, let's be specific here, Scott style. So
Yeah.
the vet's vet.
Yeah, and it was an animal that I got from somebody else that was feeding strictly not whole prey diet and had a problem that was irreversible, and we had to put the animal down. So, and that it was a very, very rare, very, very unreplaceable. I mean, all animals are unreplaceable, but this one was just a little extra, and it made me sick. And I learned from that point on, I will never go back. And I learned a couple other things too from that experience. But I'm trying to share this, and we're trying to share this with people so you don't make these same mistakes. Not for our self benefit; it doesn't benefit us at all. And I couldn't see how anybody could see it that way.
Yep.
It's trying to help fellow people. That's all it is.
Yep. So, okay. Well, with that said, Nick, we've been on quite a while.
Yeah,
I always enjoy this. We could go forever. You know that. Wait. On the news front, one more thing. So, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, right, Nick? I got a clutch of, I don't know, I don't know, 8 or 10 Mertens in there.
Yep.
2 weeks ago, I had one hatch, and it came out, and it's been 2 weeks, and I just looked in there when we started the podcast. I have another one that is picked.
That's wild.
It's so, the diapause between Mertens eggs is crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Like you said, like in the wild, does that happen? Or is it just strictly because they're hatching and then you're pulling and they're not like disturbing the other ones?
That's true.
Yeah.
That very well could be.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that very well could be. But, you know, when you got a clutch of eggs, one starting to dent, and then, you know, a week and a half later after the denting, it comes out of the egg and it's running around inside the egg box, and it's rolling the other eggs. Yeah, you know, you kind of run a risk. You know, is that one ready to hatch? And if it doesn't, and it rolls away from, you know, the top side of the egg, that animal's going to drown in there. So, yeah, I don't leave them in there long enough to roll other eggs, you know. Yeah, so it might have something to do with it.
Unfortunately, I do, but I never lost one to that. But I did tell you the story with what was the albinos? I think it was the hets that I did. The one baby put its finger, like the sim container, the 2 square grids meet, and there's like a little gap on the corner. It got its hand underneath there and flipped the whole other bin, and the 2 eggs drowned. So one baby killed the last 2 babies. And ever since then, I make sure those 2 are locked in there and they can't get their hand in there to flip it. I actually have clips, but I was talking to John if I could like 3D print just like one big thing,
right?
Tray instead of 2. But
well, you know what I was thinking? I mean, you could go get super small zip ties.
Yeah,
and zip tie that center in 2 spots, you know.
Yeah, it's easy enough to fix. It's just you never think that until it actually happens.
Well, that's why we do this podcast, to let other people know, you know, that's something to watch, you know. And we put up our mistakes in hopes that someone else doesn't have to go through that, you know. It's very good to be transparent with.
And this is a perfect platform to do it. Like if you were to do it on social media, it just seems depressing. Like because honestly, for every success, there's probably 2 failures. So it's like if you're posting that all the time, it's like, who the hell wants to listen to that? We're here. It's like you're here to learn. So might as well tell you our mistakes.
Absolutely. So with that being said, Nick, we're you know, Uncle Mike's, I'm like past my bedtime here, but the June, hold on a second. June 25th, Monitor Brains welcomes Wes Carter.
Yeah.
He's a great dude, man. This will be a good interview. You know, I've known him a while. He's a really nice guy. He served our country. I think he still is serving our country. Plus, he's a very intelligent guy. I think he's going for like a master's degree or something.
Yeah, I think so. Or doctorate. I forget.
Doctorate or whatever. We'll ask him when he comes. But yeah, you know what, man? I'm never going to take that away from somebody who's trying to better themselves. God bless. You know, that's what this country needs. People advancing instead of stagnating and, you know, doing all this stupid TikTok viral dance and stuff. You know, this is the greatest country on the earth for a reason. You know, we're a motivated people, and we always try to advance. So Wes Carter's doing it. Plus, he served our country. So
and he did I believe it was a world's first that a lot of people were trying to achieve for a long time with the
What?
albino gurus. That he
Okay.
So I'm interested to talk to him about that. I think we gave him a shout out when it first happened, but excited to talk to him about it. He's a very quiet guy. He's got a lot of projects. I'm sure he's excited to talk about.
Now I'm it's no mystery. I'm not hiding from nobody. I'm not a color morph guy. I'm not a hybrid guy, and I'm not a cross locality guy. The least of those is if you have the same species, different locality. I don't have a problem with that. If that's what's available and that's what needs to be done. However, if you could match localities with a certain species, it's always best to keep it pure. So with that being said, I'm curious, and maybe you would know, Nick, the gurus is it a cheater albino or is it guru to guru? Is there an albino guru?
Well, what happens with that? I think guru. I wish we asked John. I believe guru was Marmoratus. Actually,
okay.
I gotta think about that for a second. Yeah, guru was definitely either Marmoratus or Bivitatus because the original ones were like 8 feet. Like I have a picture from Jim Heck, and it's in his Mercedes, and it's the entire passenger seat, like this giant guru. Now, do we still have that? I'm not sure because they've been crossed. Personally, my gurus are nowhere near 8 foot, and they're like 3-4 years old. So they should be up in that size. So I think there might be some joving going on in there. But guru is a dominant trait, so you really can't see what's underlying there. You just got to go off of size. John might be able to see better than someone like me based on other characteristics, but guru takes over. So I don't know how it exactly works, but albino is recessive. So I guess you have a codom thing, not codom. You have 2 genes showing. So I forget what that is. My brain's not firing right now. I'm so tired. But you're seeing 2 genes between the guru and the.
So it's a visual. Albinism is a visual anomaly, and guru is a visual anomaly. So making it a double hat.
Yeah. All you need is one guru to create gurus. You don't need to
right.
Guru to guru.
Right.
Which I'm sure Jim has done. I don't know anybody right now doing guru to guru besides myself. I have a clutch coming up in like 80 days about to hatch. And we talked about it on here. I'm just curious to see what happens with 2 dominant traits. What happens if it gets better, if it's just going to be
cancels out.
Yeah. So
all right. Well,
Westman has some of those answers, so we'll ask him.
Listen, Nick. You know what? Let's. I don't know if you do the editing and the adding the sponsors and everything. So just while I'm thinking about it, I want to shout a special shout out to our sponsors, Klein's Feeders. Man, good, clean quail eggs, rodents, prompt delivery, great customer service. If you're looking for feeders, quality, clean, United States stuff, get a hold of Klein's.
I've used a lot, and that's the best I've ever had.
Okay, go ahead. You can shout out one of our sponsors. Go ahead.
So we got the Show Me Show, Mickey Meyer. Great guy, great shows. I've been to him all over. I think it's mostly East Coast, but I know he's branching out and getting bigger. And I think he's
he does them here in.
Does he? Okay,
he does a couple in Illinois and Wisconsin, and I'm sure he does in Missouri and Iowa. Show me snake shows, and he has I think he has a couple of pet shops. Yeah.
So I know he's breeding rodents. He's doing it all. So he's a great guy and one of our sponsors.
He's a hardworking dude, man. That's for sure.
That guy doesn't sleep. Every time I go on Facebook, he's doing something.
Yeah, he looks like he's sleeping when he's on Facebook telling everybody, right? It's like, dude, it's okay to close your eyes. You can take a rest. But yeah, he's a hardworking dude. A lot of respect for the work he does.
Definitely.
Kingsnake.com, the new launch, John Pop, and my personal friend, Cindy Steinley, who's she's part of it. And, I will always give her credit. She's been around forever. So kingsnake.com. And I think we got and Sim.
We had John on today. And we can't say enough good things about him. His product's the best. No complaints there for sure.
There's only one thing I got to say to Janutz.
What's that?
Pay me my $2. Again, man. I mean, it's a good thing we're not as serious as everybody thinks.
Yeah.
So, again, everybody stay tuned for what would we call it? Another segment of Monitor Brains.
Another channel on Monitor Brains.
Yeah, it's going to be Bioactive Brains, and that's Brad Gierke with his expertise on cage building and decor and setup and just, I mean, dude, I'm
super excited for that one.
I'm so excited for that. And I'm so excited that he's with us.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, you know, you know, we're Christians and we thank the Lord, and you got to always be yoked, right? You can't be yoked with somebody who don't think like you, or that's not advancing you. That's not building you, lifting you.
Big circle isn't always the best. A small, tight circle with people that are like-minded is definitely the way to go.
And
learn that in my older years.
And the whole thing me and Nick ever wanted to do with this was just to put out good, tried and true information, you know, from an old dog standpoint, from a guy who listens to the old dog standpoint and implements things and asks the right questions. So we put it out there we want to help people. We're not trying to bully people. We do whatever you want to do. Like I said, do whatever you want to do. But when you do,
no self-benefit here.
Right.
This is just from us loving reptiles and want to help people.
And always keep an open mind. Like, I never think I know it all, because as soon as you do that, you've lost.
Yeah.
So always keep an open mind. I always say this. I learn more from my failures than my successes. And I never discredit somebody coming up, because 9 times out of 10, those people with fresh eyes and fresh ideas, they'll come up and they'll say something, and I'll click in my head. It's like, that's genius. You know, that's genius. So, you know, we're yoked with Brad now, and man, sky's the limit for him, for us, and for the Brainiacs. That's what it's all about for us. It's about the people. We're trying to advance this industry, this hobby, for the sake of our animals and the people who love them.
Yep.
Bottom line.
Perfectly said, Uncle Mike.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for that for selfish reasons, because I want to implement Brad's ideas and just hear him talk about it. I mean, I watch his videos, but to bounce ideas off other people, it's the same thing that we're doing here. I'm going to watch his, like I'm sure people watch us.
Absolutely.
Excited.
So, all right, Nick. So Mike Stefani, Mike's Monitors.
Nicky Nick, Unlimited Exotics.
Monitor Brains podcast number 21. I always get it right at the end.
Yeah.
Number 21. Man, from us to all you guys out there, much love and respect. And again, reach out to us if you have any questions. Anything else, Nick? You got anything to say? Take us out.
Nothing but love and respect for you guys. Don't take us too seriously. There's serious times to this podcast, but a lot of it is us messing around. I mean, we show that in our intros. That was kind of the whole point of the intro. We're always joking around. That's how we are. So
yep. And you know, even people who crack on us, so to speak, and there's not a lot of them, trust me. Dude, I can shake your hand and talk. I'm fine. I don't take nothing personal. I mean, anybody out there, we breed and play with reptiles, and we breed reptiles. We care for reptiles. We nurture reptiles. Bros, people, don't take yourself too serious, man. We're not brain surgeons. We're not philosophers. We're just people who love animals, man. So we should all, and we all can get along. So much love and respect from MVP. Love you guys.
Love you guys. See you
God bless y'all. We're out.